this afternoon. One second, people. I'm just going to be sharing my
So
screen
maybe
now.
like a day or two later. And that's when he informed me of the transaction.
All right.
Okay. And so he was certain that the phone was, he was certain that he didn't have the phone at that time.
Correct.
Okay. Was there any
We have a
reason
prelim.
through your review of the
It looks
surveillance
like.
footage, through your investigation, do you have any knowledge of where Ms. Head might have been on December the 24th, day of the incident?
Yes, I spoke with Ms. Head.
Cop on the stand.
And she's stated to me that she was at
Prosecutor
her
in
father's
green.
house. I can't
DA
remember
is
the
wearing
address
a cute
right
camisole
now
with
at this
a
moment,
nice
but I
beige
did
blazer.
confirm that story
Digging it.
with her father
Nice
in a
glasses.
separate conversation. And
Standard
there is
orange
a
jumpsuit for the defendant.
like GPS coordinates on the
I like
Cash
it.
App
This
warrant
is a nice.
that
This is
tells
like
you
SNL sketch, perfect level
on what
of
day and
costumes.
time that particular
And Manning
I don't
just
know if
brings
it's
her
the
perfect
transaction or what,
charm
but
to
it
the
was in
to
the
the
area of
stage.
181 Peachtree Street when a Cash App transaction did take place.
Of course, it's
Okay.
Cash App. Criminals don't use Venmo.
And so
They can't get approved
how
from
is
Venmo.
it that you are certain that the folks that you saw in that martyr surveillance video, how is it that you're certain that those are the same folks that were in the Ritz surveillance video?
The
Well,
Ritz?
for the
Those be
male in
fancy
the blue bubble
criminals.
coat, or you said between the martyr and the
Right, because you said that y'all pulled some surveillance video from MARTA and that y'all pulled
For
some
those who don't
surveillance
know,
video
MARTA
from
is the
the
public
Ritz.
transportation system in Fulton County,
The individuals
Georgia.
that y'all put eyes on in that
Which
MARTA
is where we're
surveillance
at
video,
right
how
now.
is it that y'all are certain those are the same folks in the Ritz?
because they have on the exact same clothing.
Okay, and
But it's just a coincidence they're all wearing the same clothing.
and one of those, the individual that Ms. Head ended up implying might have been Mr. Ellis. Was that individual in both the MARTA and the Ritz surveillance?
Correct.
Okay. So, and then also there was one other question I have for you. So Mr. Ellis said that when he said that he was not in the car when it drove away.
Correct.
Okay. And so based on your viewing of the surveillance video, was one individual left behind when the car drove away?
So I don't have footage of the actual them inside of the vehicle or that whole thing taking place. You just have footage of the males standing in front of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel.
Does the
Okay.
prosecutor not ask
And
if,
so they were all
why is she
three
asking
together?
questions she doesn't know the answer to?
The still shot that I have, it's going to be two. The one with the blue bubble coat, and then it's a male with the black hoodie.
Okay. And remind me, please, which was it? I would draw that question.
Yeah, not a fan of this prosecutor.
And at this time, I have no further questions.
All right, you have follow-up?
I just have one follow-up. Would you say, based on the video footage, it's easy to distinguish who was in the black coat versus the black hoodie?
No, it's not easy to distinguish it.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
All right, anything else?
No, no.
All right, thank you, Sarge. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
All right, go ahead with the argument.
Your Honor, Sergeant Pender did testify that Mr. Ellis's fingerprint was pulled from the vehicle. She testified that Mr. Ellis's girlfriend, whether purposely or inadvertently, identified someone that the girlfriend believed was Mr. Ellis in the surveillance footage. Sergeant Pender also testified that she was certain that the individuals that were in the surveillance footage and from the Ritz and the Marta were the same individuals. She testified that the victim did in fact have 2 firearms pulled on him, that for that reason, the attackers were able to obtain his motor vehicle, and that based on what the victim said, that there was a conspiracy, even if some of them did not have a weapon, that there was a conspiracy to hijack that motor vehicle with the use of a weapon, that they worked together. Your Honor, furthermore, Sergeant Pender did testify that the victim was assaulted with the intention to rob him of the vehicle with a deadly weapon, and that not only that, but he was also hit with the gun, which caused a laceration. So, Your Honor, we would, the state would assert that probable cause to bind over the case has been established for both accounts.
All right, go ahead.
Judge, just a note on one thing that the state said, there's no conspiracy charge against my client right now. And to my argument, there is no footage that shows that my client was involved in this car incident. There's no footage that places him in the car at the time that the assault occurred. My client has admitted to the fact that a Cash App transaction occurred between him and this victim who he is unaware of, because they only met for the purpose of this transaction, which is why his fingerprint would be on the rearview mirror. But he left the car, and then the other 2 individuals took over the alleged crime. Mr. Ellis's mere presence in both of the camera footages does not indicate his involvement in either of the crimes in which he is charged. There was no property found on my client belonging to
Interesting argument, lawyer.
There was no weapon found on my client or seen in my client's hands in the footage.
He organized the beating, but he wasn't involved with it.
The only evidence
He only
is
got the victim's
fingerprint and
money.
Cash App, which merely indicates there was a
He really can't get charged with the beating.
transaction between the victim and my client. There was no physical touching. There was no gun in my client's possession. And Mr. Dukes has not once identified my client as having been one of the people that took his car or touched him with a gun. Your Honor, we argue that his mere presence with the 2 individuals that allegedly committed this crime does not provide enough probable cause to charge him with those same crimes.
All right, so it's a low standard, but I'll go ahead and find probable cause on both counts. He has a $100,000 good bond as of April 28th. Let's hear from pretrial.
Try.
5 cycles, Your Honor, does not appear to have any felony convictions. He does have an additional open case out of Fulton County.
What a shock, another case.
23 SC 186483, home invasion in the first degree, 2 counts of armed robbery and 4 counts of aggravated assault and false imprisonment. Nothing further to add.
All right, go ahead.
Can we be heard of all?
Yeah, go ahead.
My client is being held on other charges and at this time does not have the means to make any bond. So on these specific charges, we would ask for a bond not to exceed $1,000.
$1,000? I don't believe in cash bond, but come on, that's just
total,
not
so 500 on each charge.
realistic.
All right, what says the state?
Your Honor, this was a very serious and violent crime. The victim actually received a laceration with the fact that more than 1 firearm was involved. The outcome could have been a lot more deadly than it was, and definitely not due to the care of those attackers. So, Your Honor, we would argue that the bond should stay as it is and that the matter should be bound over for trial.
All right, we'll go down. Now he's got the other cases indicted in front of Judge Dunaway. So we addressed it in April, reduce a little, so that's $40,000 on each count. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, and employment, as long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, exact location you'll be working. No further contact with Darion, D-E-R-I-O-N, Dukes, D-U-K-E-S. Stay away from 181 Peachtree Street. And looks like he's gonna live in Fulton County. So read to make sure I got everything. Oh, and let's see, stay away from all MARTA stations and all MARTA property. Means you can't even tie your shoe at a MARTA bus stop where there's a bench. Okay, sir, you have to walk beyond that, sit down on the curb and tie your shoe. All right, best of luck to you, sir. Thank you, Ms. Harvey.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
All right, have a good one.
And we're done. Is there anything else going on? You can stream to? A little go TA.
All righty. All right, Mr. Latuza, can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, very good. People versus Tad Latuzik filed 23-6610FH. We're here for sentencing on an NSF check with a recommended delay. We've got counsel and defendant.
They actually have criminal charges
the agent that wrote the pre-sentence report.
Not sufficient funds check still. That's still a crime.
Mr. Madaloni, do you have any additions, corrections, or scoring challenges to the report?
I do not.
Ms. Goodrich, do you?
Yeah.
Mr. Madaloni, anything you want to say on behalf of your client?
Well, this was certainly an unfortunate situation that occurred, and there's a contentious relationship between my client and the person on the other end of the check. However, my client decided that this would be the best way to handle it. The prosecutor was gracious enough to offer the type of deal that allowed my client to take this and have a clean record. So that's when he availed himself of this, and he's just asking the court to follow the recommendations.
No, give him prison.
And he plans on
check.
paying $500 towards that today, and he will continue to make payments and get that paid off within the year.
Thank you. Mr. Latuzik, it's not required that you would say anything today, but it is allowed. Is there anything you want to say or no?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We're here because the defendant had written a check that had insufficient funds. He's 53 years old. He's employed, a college graduate. He's currently on probation at Otsego County and has other charges pending there. He has 0 prior felonies and 3 misdemeanors. He did report drinking every day until he received the drunk driving in Otsego. His guidelines are 0 to 9. I'd ask the court to follow the plea recommendation or agreement for 1-year delay of sentence. In the PSI, I don't dispute that he said he made a $1,000 payment, but we did confirm with the victim and there has not been payments received. So we still stand by the $9,822.50 that's being asked for in the PSI.
Dude, don't pay to the victim.
Mr. Latuzik, I do find based on your lack of felony record and the circumstances of this case that the plea agreement is a reasonable way to resolve this matter. So I will adopt that in the department's recommendations. Place you on a delay of sentence for up to a year. Subject to the terms and conditions listed on pages 2 and 3 of the pre-sentence report, including restitution in the amount of $9,822.50. There's DNA testing required with a $60 fee attendant to that, $68 in mandatory state costs, and $130 in a crime victims assessment, and $350 in court costs. And that'll be because we're technically not sentencing you today, we're placing you on a delay of sentence. I don't give you your appeal rights right now, and there's no early discharge at the end of the delay period. If you successfully completed with it, then the prosecutor will submit a dismissal and the case will be dismissed. If there's any violations or at the end of it, if you have not complied, then we'll come back for sentencing on the original felony charge. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Latuzik?
No, Your Honor. Just for the record, I did make a payment to the clerk of $1,000.
Okay, and that'll come off the balance then of what's been assessed once they confirm that. And Agent LaFleche, do you have contact information for him to get in touch with you, or do you need a breakout room with them or anything?
I'll call him with all the contact information. Thank you.
Do you have his phone number?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right,
And Mr.
excellent.
Latuzik,
Well, I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't mean to interrupt.
One more thing, I guess I do have to place on the record, Mr. Latuzik, do you waive your right to be physically present for your felony sentencing today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, anything further, Mr. Madaloni?
I just wanted to let Mr. Latuzik know that he needs to go down, if he made the payment at the clerk of the court's office, he needs to go down there and obtain, talk to the clerk and get some kind of verification that he made that payment.
I believe there was a pre-sentence payment.
Okay, the clerk in the courtroom is advising me, she thinks there was a pre-sentence repayment received.
It just doesn't show up anywhere yet until the sentencing.
It doesn't show up in the system until it's sentenced, but it has been receipted in, she believes. So we'll double check that.
I will.
Okay, thank you. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, and we can recall Mr. Blackburn. Gilbert.
Yes, Your Honor. My client would still like to enter his plea.
Okay, and okay, all I had done was kind of give him the introductory comments. So let me do. All right, so Mr. Blackburn, I have to advise you of the maximum penalty that you could face for the charge under amended count 1 is attempted unauthorized access of computers. That's a felony punishable by a maximum of 2.5 years and or $10,000 fine, and reimbursement to the government for expenses incurred in relation to the violation. Do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face for that charge?
Yes, sir.
You on probation or parole anywhere?
Yes, sir.
Were you on bond for any other case at the time of this incident?
Okay.
Okay. Do you understand if you plead guilty, you will not have a trial and you'll give up the rights you would have had at trial?
Yes, sir.
I want to remind you of those rights. You'd have the right to be tried by a jury and at that trial to be presumed innocent until the prosecutor proved you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the witnesses against you appear. You have the right to question them. You'd have the right to present witnesses in your own defense and have me order them to show up. You'd have the right to testify at your own trial in your defense, or to remain silent and not
Will he be
have your
taken into
silence used
custody?
against you at
That's
all.
the question.
Do you understand the rights that you have?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to give up those rights?
Oh, he's already in custody.
If I accept your plea, you can't come back later and tell me that somebody made you. They threatened you or promised you things, or for any other reason, it wasn't your own choice. Do you understand that? Also, when you plead guilty, you lose the right to appeal. If you want to appeal, you have to get permission by filing an application. And the types of issues that you could raise are much more limited than if you were convicted at trial. Do you understand that? Plea agreement provides in exchange for your plea to the charge I outlined, the remaining charges would be dismissed. Do you understand that agreement?
Yes.
Mr. Dover, is that a full, fair, and accurate statement of terms?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes. Blackburn, other than that plea agreement, has anybody promised you anything? Has anybody threatened you? Your own free choice. Knowing all this, how do you wish to plead the charge of attempted unauthorized access of computers? Mr. Gilbert, would you assist?
Oh, he's a
Very happy to.
hacker.
Sir, can you state your name for a record?
Black hat hacker.
In May of 2021, were you in Sheboygan County? You lived in Wolverine, correct? And you had access, I think, via your phone onto the internet? And at some point, because of whatever reason, you were able to access somebody else's account, correct? Yes, sir. And you did not have
He accessed someone's
authorization
account
to
without their
access
permission.
and you saw materials in there that you knew were not yours, is that correct?
You snooped.
And then you, I believe, took pictures of, I mean, they were provocative pictures.
Oh,
Of a woman,
stole their
and you took pictures of them, and you know you did not have
illicit
authorization to
photos.
take pictures of that.
That ain't good.
That woman's photographs that in that account. And then later you deleted those, but at the time you knew that those were not your pictures and you did not have access. I have no further questions, Your Honor. Thank
Are
you.
you satisfied with the factual basis?
$20, he backed him up someplace.
And Mr. Gilbert, are you aware of any other promises, threats, or inducements?
I am not, Your Honor.
Ms. Goodrich?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gilbert, do you believe I've complied with 6.302?
I believe you have, Your Honor.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Blackburn, I find that your plea is knowingly, understandingly, and voluntarily made, that there is a sufficient reason, fact, and law to believe that you're guilty of that crime. So I'll accept your plea. We'll schedule sentencing for September 26th.
Let him
at
sit in jail
8:20
another
in the
month
afternoon.
before we give him the probation. I like the judge's attitude here. Teach him a lesson.
I also have to, we never did arraign him on the warrant after I revoked his bond, that it's alleged that you're in contempt for violating an order to bond by accessing the internet, and you have a right to have a hearing on that allegation.
Oh, he was out on bond and then
So
he
I
accessed the
imagine Mr.
internet
Gilbert
somehow.
understand your plea of not guilty and set up for a hearing at the same time as the sentencing.
Actually, Your Honor.
I get it. He had to watch this law talk with Mike. I get it.
All right, Mr. Blackburn, you understand you have a right to a hearing on that allegation? Okay, has anybody promised you anything in exchange for your plea to contempt? Has anybody threatened you? Your own free choice.
Give him the
Does
30
Congress
days
believe the
now.
allegation
Let's
that
start
you
serving
violated
back a
bond in order
10
to
charge.
contempt? Guilty or not guilty? Were you on bond in this case? And as part of that bond, you were not to access the internet, is that correct? Did you access the internet in violation of that condition? And you knew that you were violating the bond? Mr. Goodrich, satisfied with that factual basis?
I am.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
All right, I'll find that that plea is knowingly, understandingly, and voluntarily made. And there's good reason to believe it's contempt, so you'll so find. And we'll schedule it for bond violation sentencing at the same time. Anything further, Mr. Fuller?
Your Honor, I don't know if the court would consider possibly reestablishing Mr. Blackburn's bond. He has acknowledged what he had done wrong, and he knows that the bond can.
Yeah, let's give him a bond after he just pled guilty to a contempt of violating bond.
Ms. Goodrich?
I leave it to the court's discretion.
I would deny that. I think bond is discretionary at this point anyway, but even if it weren't, I'd revoke this bond. It's a little unclear to me based on the nature of the charges, but then also the, the nature of the plea. It's a little unclear to me to what degree the sexual component to the charge ought to be concerning to the court. So I'd rather not reinstate bond until I have the access to the pre-sentence report, so I can see what the proper sentence will be. And I imagine the scoring won't be super high, so it's possible that at sentencing I'll have different views on it. I'd want to review the full.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Interesting. I'm a little shocked. Is the judge going to deny the deal? I wonder, depending on what shows up. It wouldn't surprise me.
Cody Smith here.
I readjusted my camera so I can get my cat in frame. He's taking a nap right
There's
here.
like two files, 23-6593 and 6639. We're here for a docket call on both files, and it looks like a bond violation in the first one. Robert, do you know how we're proceeding?
In regards to the docket call, this matter has not been resolved, Your Honor, and I guess we've asked for it to be put on the trial docket.
Okay.
Oh, let's see what this case is about. Another guy in
Do you
custody.
have a preference as to which one would be first, or the motions you anticipate? Or
I do anticipate filing an other acts notice.
is this one I guess what I'm hinting at is there any request of either side for joinder or for two separate trials?
It does involve the same victim, so I would be filing a motion to join them.
if you've had a chance to review that, whether you agree to it or not want it, I don't know. So we'll,
Yeah, I agree, of course.
okay. So, all right. So maybe what I'll do is we'll add it to the docket, to the trial docket, take down the necessary information.
Sending a message and logged up with Mike's Discord. And I'll throw one in Biggins.
Come to be in custody.
No, we're gonna use bond gallery report, Your Honor.
The jail list reflects May 30th.
May 30th.
Exactly right, it was May 31st.
I do that, Mr. Smith, just so I can keep track of, in terms of prioritizing who gets the earliest trial dates. Who's
He's going to
in
trial,
jail,
no
who's not in
big deal.
jail, who's been in jail longer, that's
Very interesting.
And in the 6639, it looks like it occurred June 20 or June 15th. 65. April 13th. They are presently not joined, so Mr. Gilbert, how many days for trial in the first one? Anticipate?
Max 2 days, and that would apply to the second one also.
Okay. Give you both 21 days to file witness and exhibit lists. Our docket on the 26th is pretty full, but I think we're gonna have to just add this to it.
40% of Japanese companies hire people
So,
70 plus.
September 26th.
Not enough kids, and Japanese people are leaving
30.
Japan. Japanese youth are leaving Japan to get better paying jobs in other countries.
All in both files.
Yeah, I get it. And it's hard for a foreigner in Japan.
Will be a bond violation hearing in 6593 as well. We've added it to the trial docket. 21 days to exchange witness and exhibit lists. That'll be done before the next time. And then because he's in custody and been there for a few months at least, it'll be my intention and hope to set a trial date at that time. So if there's any
Good
motions,
Monday.com.
joined or anything, they need to
Really
be
good
at
articles.
that time so that I could hear from both sides. All right, anything further from the defense?
In regard to the bond violation, Your Honor, my client and I have already discussed that, and I believe there's two issues: failure to submit to a PBT, and also contact the alleged victim, and my client wishes to plead.
This is just a nice casual chat
Well, I
and
mean,
watch.
Given the
Even though there's
nature
no one
of
here,
that
someone else
violation,
can
second
join.
charge, I mean, I'm not really going to reinstate his bond anyway. I feel a little more comfortable with him just getting it right now, at least until
Crap, I gotta get to work.
Sort out what are our trial dates, or are we doing one trial, two, what are we doing? So I would, I not want to take this.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Mr. Smith, we'll see you September 26th at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Thank you.
Is Ms. Tanya Dunham present? Ms. Dunham. So this is file 23-6597. And this is up for a docket call and bond violation hearing. What we're status this is, Mr.
Your Honor, yes, we have entered, we've come to agreement on the plea. It was my understanding, my client has been accepted to the Otsego County Drug Court. And I believe there might be somebody in the waiting room.
Yes, okay, Luke Hamlin.
Yes, last time we were here, I didn't have a lot of answers for the court that you wanted, so he's here to explain exactly what the type of bond conditions or that type of thing.
Gotcha. And do you have an amended information, Ms. Goodrich?
Yes, it should be in that pile that was just given to you.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's right in front of my face. All right, Mr. Hamlin, good afternoon.
Hi, Judge, thank you.
Hey, so maybe we can just get some informal information from you here. Ms. Dunham's intending to enter a plea here today to a felony operating while intoxicated and a misdemeanor DWLS with a sentence agreement for the Otsego County Drug Court Program. Has she been accepted into your program?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. She's been accepted as of August 8th of this year. Of course, with some housekeeping items, if you don't mind me presenting that to the court first.
Sure, go ahead.
First, I would ask that, I would need the transfer of supervision paperwork by scale. Just a formality there. Any jail time that she is sentenced here while in the program would be served in Sheboygan County. And then last, I would just ask the Smart Start unit she has that she's blowing into randomly. Can we remove that because she'll be testing so frequently with our program?
All right, yeah, we don't, we're not going to be able to do the transfer paperwork until sentencing. And this comes up from time to time. We'll amend her bond today upon her plea to require that she comply with the Otsego County Drug Court Program. And then at her sentencing, we'll of course do the SCAO transfer. And how I tend to do it is to retain jurisdiction. If she's removed from your program, then she'd come back to me for sentencing on the violation.
Yes.
Anything sanctions, of course, are dealt with your judge.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Do you have any other information you want to ask Mr. Hamlin about, Mr. Gilbert?
Mr. Hamlin has been in communication with me and it's been great to work with.
Anything you want to elicit from him, Ms. Goodrich?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, so Mr. Hamlin, thank you. You're excused and can leave whenever you want. If you want to stick around and observe the entry, the plea and the bond conditions, you're certainly welcome to do that as well.
No, I'm good. Just one more thing. Can you pass along, please, that she needs to report tomorrow morning, 8 a.m.
Okay, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. you have to report. All right, thank you, Mr. Hamlin.
Have a good day.
You too. All right, Ms. Dunham, would you please raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Dunham, a guilty plea hearing is an important event. It includes the waiver of constitutional rights you have So I want you to listen carefully at any time. If you have any doubts, questions, or hesitations, let me know. If you need to talk to Mr. Gilbert some more, just let me know. Okay, do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
I have to remind you of the maximum penalties that you could face. Reference to plead guilty to an amended information, count 1, operating while intoxicated, third offense. It's a felony punishable by $500 to $5,000 fine and either 1 to 5 years in prison or probation with 30 days to a year in jail, at least 48 hours to be served consecutively. 60 to 180 days community service. The court can order you to complete rehabilitative programs, reimburse the government for costs of prosecution and emergency response, and order vehicle immobilization. Count 2 is operating while your license is suspended. That's a misdemeanor punishable by 93 days and or a $500 fine and vehicle immobilization. Do you understand the maximum penalties that you face?
I do.
Probation or parole anywhere?
I'm on probation.
Where at?
Actually,
Okay, you mean you're in the program?
no, my probation ends in October. So
Oh, you're on probation. Okay, okay. And do you understand that your plea in this matter could be used as a basis to violate that probation? And do you understand if you plead guilty, you won't have a trial and you'll give up the rights you would have had at trial?
Yes, I do.
I want to remind you about those rights. You have the right to be tried by a jury and at that trial to be presumed innocent until the prosecutor proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the witnesses against you appear, to question them, to present witnesses in your own defense, have the order them to show up, testify in your own defense, or to remain silent and not have your silence used against you. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, I do.
And do you wish to give those up and plead guilty today?
Yes, I do.
The plea agreement provides in exchange for your plea to those charges, the original count 1 will be dismissed, and there's a sentence agreement for the Otsego County Drug Court program. Do you understand the terms of that plea agreement?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Gilbert, is that a full, fair, and accurate statement of his terms?
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
Ms. Dunham, that sentence agreement for the Otsego Drug Court program is not binding on you. If I didn't want to follow it, I wouldn't have to. But if I did not follow it, you'd be allowed to withdraw your plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Now, that's unless you engage in some misconduct between now and the time of your sentence. Let's say you skip out on your bond, you violate your bond conditions, or you commit a new crime. By that type of misconduct, you'd lose the right to withdraw the plea, even if I didn't go along with that sentence agreement. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Other than that agreement, has anybody promised you anything to get you to plea quit?
No.
Has anybody threatened you?
No.
Is it your own free choice to do so?
Yes.
Knowing all this, how do you wish to plead to the charge of operating while intoxicated, third offense?
Guilty.
How do you wish to plead to the charge of operating with suspended license?
Guilty.
Mr. Gilbert, would you assist?
I'd be happy to. Ma'am, can you state your name for the record?
Tanya Elaine Dunham.
And on March of this year, around March 28th of 2023, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Was that on Wolverine Road in Sheboygan?
Yes.
And had, prior to operating the vehicle, had you consumed alcohol?
Yes.
And did you take a roadside PBT? Okay,
I think they took blood from me.
okay, and would you agree that it exceeded 0.08, the results? And prior to that, and you admit that you were operating that vehicle under the influence of alcohol?
Yes.
And prior to that, had you had a prior alcohol-related driving incident February 28th of 2019 in the 89th District Court, and then one in 2010 of 2000, I'm sorry, October 20th of 2022 in the 87th A District Court,
Yes.
alcohol-related offense. And while you were operating, did you have a valid driver's license?
To begin with, I did, but I think, and I got taken away for 30 days.
Back in March, did you have a valid driver's license? You did not. And you know you need a valid driver's license to operate a vehicle. I have no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, and you're satisfied with the factual basis?
I am.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
And Mr. Gilbert, are you aware of any other promises, threats, or inducements?
I am not.
Ms. Goodrich? Mr. Gilbert, do you believe I complied with 6.302?
I believe you have. Thank you.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
Ms. Dunham, I find that your plea is knowingly, understandingly, and voluntarily made, that there's good reason and fact and law to believe you're guilty of that crime, those crimes, so I accept your plea. I think because I want to see how she's doing with Otsego County and she's not in custody, we'll put sentencing out to the October 24th date. So your sentencing will be October 24th at 2:30 in the afternoon. You'll have to tell the probation department that you have to schedule an interview for them to prepare a report for me. Ms. Goodrich, any input as to bond conditions that were requested by Otsego?
No objections.
So we're going to amend your bond to have you comply with the Otsego County drug court conditions and remove the sober link requirements and remove the testing requirements here. We'll just basically allow the Otsego County drug court to manage those things. And we've got all these issues that really didn't make any sense to me. I don't know if it was a defective unit or if you were just trying to maintain a certain level. I don't know. I don't want you to tell me right now. So I'm just going to kick it to a bond violation hearing at the sentencing date. If she's doing fine in the drug court program down there, we won't worry about that.
Excellent, thank you.
All
Can
right,
I say something?
check with Mr. Gilbert first.
I just want to thank you for giving, I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. It's been a long 5 years. You actually sentenced a person that threw our life back in, it was Lloyd Miller, threw our life into a whirlwind 5 years ago. My daughter was the one that case happened over.
Wow.
And my life isn't, actually, I went to rehab in April. And I'm here to tell you I'm 5 months and 7 days sober today. And the counselor at rehab really helped me and helped me put this behind me. And it's just sunshine and full speed ahead, take care of my grandson. And I want to thank you for the opportunity, for giving me.
Well, congratulations, and add another day to that total. And I guess that's a good cautionary tale about just the collateral consequences when people commit those types of crimes that just leaves a wake of devastation. Okay, we'll see you October 24th. Be sure to report to Otsego County Drug Court tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Now I don't have to blow anymore or
Nope,
drug test.
just comply with what Otsego County tells you and show up for court here and don't commit crimes and you're all set.
Okay, thank you.
So as Brian gets back there.
Brian's got some expungements too. All right, so your last man, Mr. Gilbert, was Mr. Giroux. You ready on that one?
Yes, and I also have Casey McCumbee, she's here.
Oh, okay. Well, let's handle Mr. Giroux. This is file 23-6577 FH, People versus Raymond Giroux. Sentencing on a charge of operating while intoxicated, third offense, habitual second, maximum 7.5 years. I did want to note I have received and reviewed several letters of support from a Ms. Maxwell, a Mr. Taylor, Ms. Bryant, Paul, Enos, Mr. and Ms. Thomas, Mr. Lyons, Ms. Pettigrew. All right, and Mr. Gilbert, have you had a chance to review the report and recommendations with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Do you have any additions or corrections to the information on that report?
There are not.
The advisory guidelines are scored at 12 to 30 months. Any scoring challenge?
No scoring challenges.
Rich, any additions, corrections, or scoring challenge? Mr. Gilbert, anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, this gentleman has been very proactive since this happened. And really, if you look at the scoring, what's really hurting us in the scoring is his PRVs. He had a significant past. He has been to prison, but that was a long time ago. And I think you can see by the letters of recommendation, he's turned his life around. However, I do believe some of the traumas that happened and caused the prison, that happened in prison and prior to prison, resulted in him abusing alcohol. And he has become aware that he has an issue. He's showing me his sign-in sheets for AAA. How about AA?
Double A.
Well, I hit a deer yesterday. AAA is on my mind. But AA, but he decided, I mean, he's embracing it. He's been very proactive. And as a client, making sure that he's stayed in contact with me. I couldn't have asked for somebody to be more proactive in this case. I would ask that the court possibly consider a lesser amount. I understand why the recommendation is because of the scoring. But if anytime there should be a departure, this would probably be one of the situations, because I'm pretty sure that Mr. Giroux knows if he screws up on probation, that there's only one place he's going, and that's an incentive for him to stay sober. And if you are going to have incarceration, I would ask the court to consider possibly work release now that we've got that option. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Giroux. It's not required that you would make a statement. It is allowed. Is there anything you want to say?
Yes, sir. As you know, Your Honor, I came home in 2014 after serving 23 years in prison. I didn't work a cell phone, but I entered college at Henry Ford and Dearborn, and for 2 years I met some of the most beautiful people. I came home and I just hit the ground running because I knew that's who I wasn't. That's who I wasn't, who I didn't want to be. And I become an electrician. You know, I went to some of the finest trade schools in the country, and you know, and a year later, I get a call, and my grandson was in a drug house in Flint for 3 days, and I've had him for ever since. 5 months ago, I would have pointed the finger at everybody and everything. And all it boils down to is just excuses. And I got to just educate myself and thinking, you know, if I was that proactive then when I came home, why couldn't I have asked for help after the third DUI? Like, it's just unacceptable that I put that many people at risk, especially that little boy. And I'm not asking you, Your Honor, I'm begging you for mercy. If he was to give me lifetime probation, you would never see me in your courtroom ever again. And I mean that with all my heart. I've never missed a blow. I've never dropped a dirty. I try to make 5 meetings a week. I got a therapist. You know, I even do counseling. I didn't realize what PTSD really was. I just played the victim. Pity party that I was having. And I was selfish, you know. We don't realize this with being an alcoholic or using drugs. We just want the noise to go away. And I don't know, I just thank God that I'm here right now in front of you. I don't see it as law pulling me over. I see it spiritual. Like, there's a plan for me. And whether it's to help other alcoholics. But I don't just plan on letting this go away after this is done. I'm going to continue to be proactive, and you know, I work 40 hours a week, and I raised that little boy, and you know, I'm the one that gets him up from school, feeds him. I just sorry to my family. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Mr. Giroux. Mr. Rich, any recommendations from people?
Yes, thank you. We're here because on March 15th of 2023, around 8:21 p.m., the defendant was observed to be swerving across the roadway into the proper lane. The defendant had his minor grandson in the back seat that he is the guardian of. The defendant exited the car. Marijuana pipe was near the defendant's left foot. The defendant was a 0.21 blood alcohol level, more than double legal the limit, and had the presence of marijuana in his system. The defendant is 57 years old. He's employed with a GED. He has 7 prior felonies and 3 misdemeanors. He served 1 term of probation, 1 jail sentence, 6 prison sentences, including the last one at 23 years. and he was off of parole since 2016. But since that time, he's committed 2 drunk drivings. In 2018, he served jail in the amount of 93 days. In 2021, probation was tried for 6 months, and then here we are in 2023. The guidelines are 12 to 30 months. The MDOC recommendation is 12 months jail with 3 years probation. I reviewed the letters as well. They reflect the defendant to be a likable person and a good worker when he is sober. Unfortunately, though, when he's drinking, he not only endangered his own life, but his grandson and the public safety. All rehabilitative efforts seem to have been exhausted by reviewing the timeline of his criminal offenses with all of his prior felonies. Those prior felonies involve victim-type crimes, adding to public safety concerns. I believe top of the guidelines is appropriate in this case. In this case, my recommendation is 30 months to 7 years, 6 months. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Giroux, you know, these are cases that pull at all of our heartstrings here. These are gut-wrenching cases, I'm sure, for nobody more than you, of course, but for all of us in the system, these are really difficult situations because all the things that I'm hearing are true on the positive side of the ledger for what we've been doing very recently. It is very recent. And you got letters from some very good people who think very highly of you. But also there are other things that are undeniably true about you. I think it's important that we know why it is we do certain things. And you know, you didn't come here today based only on the decision in this case. You came here at the culmination of a lifetime of decisions. And you know as well as anybody that courts factor those into how we sentence people, as we should. I mean, a first-time offender should be treated differently than a repeat offender. I mean, I think anybody who's reasonably thinking about it would agree with that proposition. So, Mr. Giroux, you come to me today having broken into an occupied dwelling in 1983. You went to prison. You were released to a community-based correction center. While you were there, you broke into another occupied dwelling in 1984. You went back to prison. You were paroled in 1990. In February 1991, you committed an armed robbery. I read some of those pre-sentence reports during part of your application to recovery court. These were violent offenses. These were disturbing offenses. In March of 1991, you committed another armed robbery. In April of 1991, you broke into an occupied home again. In April of 1991, you committed another armed robbery. You went to prison, where you served 23 years of a prison term that was announced at 25 to 75 years. So you could still be in prison today on those crimes, and there would be no injustice in that, not a drop. The prison system, the correction system took a chance on you and thought he's rehabilitated. Let's put him back in the community. So that happened in 2014. You were discharged from supervision in 2016. So now I have a track record of you on your own in the community for a mere 2 years before you commit more crimes. After that lifetime of decisions, now you're driving drunk in 2018. Instead of taking that as a warning shot, like, holy cow, I don't want to go back to that whole world. You drive drunk again in 2021. And now, and I encourage people to go online and look up the charts for BAC. How much do you weigh?
175.
There you go. Most of the charts are, you know, the standard example they use is 180. You got to drink like 16 drinks to get where you were. This is not like, gee, poor Mr. Giroux, who's a great grandpa and a great guy and a great fiance and a great worker, just didn't judge right whether he was able to drive home. You were hitting it hard and long. And at 8:30 in the evening, with all sorts of people at risk of you killing them, not least of which Is your grandson in the car with you? You're driving at that BAC. I'm not sure what you expect a circuit court judge to do with you. But I know. The prosecutor's right. You seem like a likable guy. Everybody that has contact with you tells me that. My own case manager for the recovery court program has told me that. Mr. Gilbert tells me that. I trust both of those people an awful lot. I believe those things to be true, but my job today is not to decide, do I like Mr. Giroux? My job is to do what a Michigan Circuit Court judge should do based on the circumstances of this offender and this offense. You're a lifelong criminal, Mr. Giroux. You have a very short track record of crime-free life in society. The guidelines do not even adequately account for the rapid collection of your OWI convictions. 3 in a lifetime gets you a felony. You've got 3 in less than 5 years. The guidelines do not adequately account for, or account at all, for the presence of your grandson in the car. Although your prior record is taken into account, it doesn't adequately take into account the very scant record of crime-free living in society that you have amassed in your 57 years. It brings me no pleasure to do this, Mr. Giroux, but those are some serious aggravating factors. So there's state costs of $68, crime victim rights of $130, court costs of $350, and a fine of $500. And I'm going to commit you to the Michigan Department of Corrections for not less than 4 years, no more than 7.5 years, exercising my discretion under the habitual offender statute to increase the statutory maximum, giving credit for 4 days previously served. That is a sentence outside of the advisory guidelines, and I placed my reasons for the departure on record. You can file an application for leave to appeal if you wish, Mr. Giroux. If you want me to appoint an attorney, I will. You have to ask me within 42 days. We're going to hand you that appeal paperwork. Ask you to initial 1 copy for us. The other one is for you to fill out if you wish to take an appeal. Sir. All right, People versus McCumbee. 22-6312FH. So, Gilbert, what's their status on this matter?
Yeah, at this point, Your Honor, this matter still has not been resolved.
All right, and I think we should probably get a trial date in this matter. Council approach for a second. All right, Ms. McCumby, I just wanted to double check with the attorneys because there was a switch of attorney and it looks like there was a revised offer that the prosecutor had made that had not made its way into Mr. Gilbert's file in the switchover. So we're going to pass your case and I'll take some other matters I have while you and Mr. Gilbert have whatever time you need to talk that over. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's, all right, Mr. Pesky, you have Mr. Brock here.
I do, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
All right, this is People versus Brian Groff, 2014 file -4860FH. Before we get too far down the road, I do want to disclose that I was personally and substantially involved in the prosecution of this matter back in 2014. So if Mr. Groff wishes a different judge, I will recuse myself. If he wishes to waive that and have me consider this application, I would be willing to sit. I'll give you a chance to talk to him if you want.
We're good.
Oh,
I just asked him, he indicates that he's fine waiving you guys.
All right, any opening remarks you wish to make, or just have him place your client under oath to approve?
I think just entering the proofs, Your Honor, would be fine.
Okay, Ms. Miller, are you handling this matter for people?
No.
Okay, you're here for a driver's license.
I am.
Okay. All right, any opening remarks or issues on eligibility or? Any objection to Mr. Groff just testifying where he is with Mr. Pesky?
No objection.
You want him there or in the witness stand?
No objection to him sitting next to me.
Mr. Groff, you want to stand and raise your right hand for me? You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay, you can sit. Go ahead, Mr.
You say your name for the record?
Brian Groff,
Where do you currently reside?
312 Riverside Drive,
And how are you currently employed?
at the Sheboygan Marine Company.
How long have you been in that position?
7.5 years.
We're here seeking to set aside a conviction from 2014, as the judge kind of alluded to, financial transaction device overcharging. Is that what you seek to do today?
Yes.
Have you completed all the terms of probation for that charge?
Yes.
Discharge successful?
Yes.
Paid all kinds of costs?
Yes.
Aside from that, speaking to your duties in the brewery, what are your current duties in that position?
I am the business manager and financial leader of the company.
The brewing company entrust you with making financial transactions?
Yes.
Do they give you authority to write checks or a credit card or anything like that?
Yes.
You make purchases on behalf of the brewery?
Yes.
And how long have you been doing that?
7.5 years.
Okay. And there's been no issues in that employment, in that capacity?
No.
You got a degree from Saginaw Valley, correct?
Correct.
And what was that?
Accounting, Bachelor of Professional Accountancy and International Business.
And at the time of this charge, that really hindered you, didn't it?
Yes.
Actually took away your ability to take CPA, is that correct?
Correct.
Would that be a reason you're seeking to set aside this conviction?
Yes.
Do you have any other convictions to speak of?
since, but I guess like previously or since.
I guess since the 2014.
No, nothing since.
Okay. We know you've had an impaired back in 05 and also in 08, is that correct?
Correct.
You had a driver license suspended set aside back in 09.
Correct.
And am I missing anything, Mr. Groff?
Yeah, I don't believe
I think you had a use of marijuana in 05 and 74.
7411, yeah. Correct.
Have you sought to set aside any other criminal convictions through expungement?
No, this is the first.
Here, I don't have any more proofs.
Mr. Rich, any questions for Mr. Roth?
No questions.
All right, argument, Mr. Kukowski.
Oh, Your Honor, I've known Mr. Groff for some years. I think our firm actually represented him in this financial transaction case. At that time, I think it was just caught up in the moment with Mr. Groff and then talking to him about that. He's working up at the Dixie Saloon. A lot of the employees up there, I think, are rounding up the credit cards for tips, and just instead of that number there, they round up to the nearest dollar. And not speaking to the case, since I think my father handled that matter. I don't know facts, but just speaking from my talks with Mr. Groff, he knows that was a big mistake. He suffered dearly from it. He was senior year at Saginaw Valley that Your Honors indicated you sat on that file and prosecuted for that. We're asking the court to set aside his conviction. He's, I know, seeking, future endeavors in his life, and his conviction, obviously, is a felony conviction that has really put a hindrance on that. On different things in his life that he just wants this behind him, past it. I think he's moved forward in his community in a positive light. Mr. Groff sits on, several boards. He's on the Sheboygan He's on the Community Foundation, the Chamber of Commerce. He works in the brewery as a manager. He oversees the financial transactions there. And for all these reasons, Your Honor, I think it shows that he's clearly a candidate to set this conviction aside. He's done the right things. He's moved forward in the right direction and taken the right path. He's successfully done everything he's needed to do. And asked the court to set aside this conviction.
Thank you, Mr. Kukowski. Mr. Rich, any recommendations from you?
Oh, yes, Your Honor, we're in receipt of the Attorney General letter saying that he is eligible to have his conviction set aside. We also reached out to the owners of Dixie Saloon and they support this motion to set aside. And we also support it.
Well, thank you. Well, Mr. Groff, I've seen you around the community for years. It's important to say today that you are a credit to Sheboygan. Now, I'm also glad that you waived any conflict for me to sit in this case. I prosecuted your case. My uncle, Joe Kukowski, was defending you. He told me you were really good friends with Luke and a really good guy. And here Luke is with you here today seeking to set aside. I held a pretty tough line on that case. I knew what you were studying. I knew that that would prevent some opportunities for you. I did it anyway. I thought it was the right thing to do. Perhaps it was, perhaps it wasn't, I don't know. But there's no doubt in my mind, I caused some of the limitations that you've described here today. So it is really, really my heartfelt pleasure to undo that today and set aside this conviction. That you're eligible, and also that your circumstances and your behavior do warrant it, and that setting aside this conviction is consistent with public law. Mr. Groff, I'm granting your petition. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I do have an order. I'm not sure if my staff
Very
can
good.
send one over.
All right, I've signed the order and I'm tendering it back to your attorney for filing with the clerk. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. So do we know who the arraignment attorney is today?
Oh, Mr. Keo.
Mr. Keo. Okay, so Mr. Colking's here on a probation violation, so we know.
They'll both pull it down.
Oh, yeah, okay, okay. All right, Mr. Clayman, you have petition, you want to handle Mr. Hughes first?
Yeah, that's fine. I think that'll be relatively quick here. Clue might be a little longer. Mr. Miller's sharpening the nails for this here.
All right, People versus Jesse Hughes, file 96-1506FH. Any opening remarks as to eligibility? You want me to place your claim under oath?
You can let's go up and grab a seat up there.
Okay. Sir. Raise your right hand for me, Mr. Hughes. You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you can see. Mr. Any opening remarks as to eligibility or not?
All right, Mr. Hughes, you kind of just saw how one of these hearings go. I do a little bit differently, but that's fine too. Would you turn to the judge and introduce yourself as if you just met him at a party or an event?
Hello, I'm Jesse Hughes. Nice to meet you.
What do you do for a living, Jesse?
I work for Cosley Trucking, out of Saginaw. I haul the bulk mail from Mackinac City to Lansing 5 days a week.
Where do you live?
Lovering.
Okay. Live there alone? Do you have family?
I live there alone.
Okay. Do you have any kids? No kids. All right. You got this conviction for unlawful driving away of an automobile or snowmobile, correct?
Yes.
That was back in 1996. That seem right?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of time passed between 1996 and here. It looks like you may have gotten disorderly person dismissed in 2007. But you led a pretty law-abiding life in the last couple of years, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So you have this conviction. What's it done? I mean, how's it? You just heard from this young man here talk about how his conviction held it back from some professional development. How's other than just a sheer embarrassment you not discussed? How's this hearing or this conviction held you back?
I believe that some jobs I was not able to get because I put that down. That was on the record.
Now, when this was sentenced, you seem to remember that it was sentenced as the misdemeanor version of the unlawful driving away, even though it was a felony charge, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But nonetheless, it has a felony case number and is viewed as by employers as a felony conviction, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So by having this conviction off your record, do you think it will give you more job opportunities and a better outlook?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Do you think you outgrown the stealing the snowmobile portion of your life?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you're quite a bit younger back then.
Yeah, I was.
Not quite as wise as you are now.
Right.
Okay. All right. Is that what you're asking the judge to sign it or remove this from your record?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass witness to the prosecution or the court.
Okay, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Okay, you can step down, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Argument, Mr. Clayton?
He meets the statutory requirements. I just wanted the court to know who he was. I believe there is a part of the statute that requires the court to make a independent subjective determination of eligibility. And I'd ask the court to find in the affirmative that he is eligible and does not present a risk of harm to the public.
All right, thank you, Ms. Goodrich, people's position.
Yes, Your Honor, we did make a reasonable attempt to find the victim's information and could not locate that due to the age of the case. But we support this motion.
All right, thank you. Well, Mr. Hughes, you are eligible under the statutory requirements. And the only thing that I have to find is whether your circumstances and behavior warrant setting aside the conviction and whether doing so is consistent with the public welfare. And I do so find. This was a long time ago. You've outgrown those days. And it's certainly appropriate, given that passage of time and your lack of other record of note, that we would set this conviction aside. So it's my pleasure and my privilege to grant that application, sir, and set this conviction aside. I've signed the order that your office submitted, Mr. Clayton, and I'll tender it back to you for your file.
All right, thanks, Court.
All right.
That's right. I'll get copies of it and come up tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, you're good to go.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
All right, you've got next, Clute, the Secretary of State.
Yes.
This is 2023-8973AL. Council, you want to state your appearances, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Paige Miller on behalf of the Secretary of State.
Brian McClellan on behalf of Jody Clute.
All right.
Whenever I do these hearings, I just did one in front of Judge Deegan. I'm like, should we actually switch sides with the prosecutor? Because
Oh, yeah, you're the petitioner. Yeah, technically, right? Yeah.
We'll make the vote.
Okay.
We get too comfortable on this side.
That's true. Okay, I have reviewed the, your petition as well as the transcript and record from the Secretary of State. Go ahead with your argument in support of your appellate petition.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. This is our appeal, obviously, from a hearing officer, from a hearing we have with hearing officer Phillips. We're seeking this petition under MCL 257-323. The central issue in our appeal is that
He doesn't know whether it's 13, 14, or 15 years he's been sober.
right.
Shame on him.
I know. I know, you know.
How long does the statute require, Mr.
One.
Okay.
One.
Okay, go ahead.
So, you know, I'm not gonna criticize hearing officer Phillips. I've had plenty of hearings with her, but that was exactly the point, Mr. Clute. So it all started with the substance abuse assessment, the MCL, or the DMV form, the 258 form. When the hearing, or when the substance abuse assessor did it, he errantly put 2015 instead of 2010. Hearing officer Phillips caught that and said, I want an amended substance abuse assessment. I clearly see that's a typographical error. And then she cites it in her opinion. She must have forgotten that she said that. She says, well, the assessment says 2015, but she had told me to get an amended 258 form. And she also had that language in there where the assessor was suggesting that Mr. Clute should get a restricted license. So we had those removed. But the two letters that hearing officer Phillips references from Mary Jo Beckman, and there's another from 2010, they reflect as 2010. When Jody was testifying, and this is the only reason it's denied, is because he couldn't get the date right. And it wasn't until he reflected on it and said, it was the year my mom died. You know, and the year his mom died was 2010. You know, but it's been 13 years since he's consuming alcohol. He's in sustained full remission. He's got a good prognosis. He has no desire to drink. He has no desire to return to his consumption of alcohol. So when I got the opinion that said, well, he can't remember if he stopped drinking in 2008, 2009, 2010. What difference does it make? It's been 13 years that he hasn't drank alcohol. And how would I expect to have a different answer with the same hearing officer next year? Oh, last year he couldn't remember if he stopped drinking in 2008, 2009, 2010. It could go on forever. You know, so I think the under the 320 the MCL 257-323, the standard allows the court to affirm, modify, or set aside restrictions, suspension, denial. And the standard is abuse of discretion, or that the hearing officer relied on facts not supported by the evidence. I think it is abuse of discretion case. There's nothing in 257-313 or Administrative Rule 13 in the Secretary of State manual, which is basically just a restatement of 257-313, that creates any kind of requirement that a person has to do anything more than be absent for a minimum year. Mr. Clute has 13 years. Have a lower minimal risk of reoffending. Based on the testimony, Mr. Clute has almost no risk of reoffending. As he said, he has no intention to ever drink alcohol again for the rest of his life. And for the hearing officer to create a burden that says, it's not stated in the statute, it says, if he can't remember the exact year he quit drinking, even though it's been well over a decade, shame on you, you can't get a license. I just don't think that's what the statute says, and I think the hearing officer Phillips did it wrong. So I'm asking the court to overrule her opinion and grant. And I do believe, because of the length of Mr. Clute's drunk driving, the court actually could grant full privileges, but we're asking the court for either full or restricted privileges.
Thank you, Mr.
Your Honor, I would disagree. I would state that the decision made by the hearing officer was supported by competent material and substantial evidence on the whole record. The hearing officer deemed that there was not a, that the discrepancy between the dates that Mr. Clute stated on his testimony and the dates included in the substance abuse assessment did not correlate. And for those reasons, that there wasn't clear convincing evidence that the requirements of Rule 13 were met with the, and for that reason, the hearing officer made the decision that they did. There's also other things that the officers quoted in their opinion for a basis for that. They also included that there was a Mr. Clute at the time of the hearing seemed to not take the required accountability regarding the offenses that he said that someone else had called on him or he wasn't driving initially. And that all of that together did not create a clear and convincing evidence for the hearing officer that the license should be reinstated. So for those reasons, I believe that the decision of the Secretary of State should be affirmed.
All right, thank you. Well, in this case, the standard review is not whether I would have granted a license if I were the hearing officer, but whether the hearing officer's decision is supported by competent material and substantial evidence on the whole record, or whether it was a clear abuse of discretion. I find in this case that it was a clear abuse of discretion. When you consider the overall record of this case, 23 years ago, Mr. Clute had a drunk driving at a .08. 16 years ago, he got his second offense at a .08. His license was properly revoked. The law requires that he had 1 year of sobriety and be able to show by clear and convincing evidence that his substance abuse problems are under control and likely remain under control, and that he's low risk to the public if he has driving privileges restored. He did meet that standard pretty clearly through the letters of support, through his testimony, through the substance abuse evaluation. There were two reasons given by the hearing officer to deny it, both of which have been elucidated by the Secretary's counsel here today. One, a discrepancy about the sobriety date. The hearing officer said, quote, petitioner should be aware of his own sobriety date. Well, that's true. Maybe I should know the date that I proposed to my wife. I don't. But it happened. Sometimes dates that are important to somebody's life, they don't know, they can't put it on a calendar. And if the question was, gee, do you have 4 months, 5 months, or 6 months sober, that would matter a lot. When it's 13 or 14 or 15 years, it matters really very little. When the law only requires 1 year of sobriety, you've got well more than a decade. I think that was a clear abuse of discretion for the hearing officer to deny a man's license based on that. Plus, Mr. Clayton makes a great point. How's he ever supposed to cure that error? So that means he has a lifetime revocation because he can't remember the day that he quit drinking? That's unreasonable. That's an abuse of discretion. Also, the subjective reason that he doesn't take responsibility for his arrests, I think that was an abuse of discretion here. At the hearing, Mr. Clute acknowledged that he was an alcoholic. The hearing officer said, well, gee, he seemed to blame it on his ADD. I didn't read the record that way whatsoever. He wasn't blaming his alcohol use on his ADD, but he was describing how having that effectively treated changed his life for the better, including his desire to turn to alcohol to relieve stress. It's an abuse of discretion to read that and say, well, gee, therefore he's not taking responsibility for his alcohol use. That's somebody taking responsibility for their alcohol use and life to address the underlying concerns. We know in treatment settings, we know in treatment courts that the drugs or alcohol are not the problem, they're a symptom. So to punish a man for addressing the underlying problems is nonsensical in my view. Also, there's an important objective fact. Mr. Clute, I was sorry to read about the loss that you suffered. 3 years after his decision to stop drinking, his son was killed in a drunk driving crash.
I were a son friend.
That's an objective fact that is compelling to support Mr. Clute's decision not to drink. This was a pretty clear record of clear and convincing evidence that his substance abuse problems are under control and likely to remain that way. I understand the burden of proof is on the petitioner at these hearings, but it is not a game of gotcha. He did meet the standard. It was an abuse of discretion to find otherwise, and I'll restore full driving privileges to Mr. Clute. All right, Mr. Clayton, I've signed your proposed order. Sometimes if the Secretary of State gets finicky about the form of the order and we need to submit on scale, going with all the check boxes, just submit it later. Ms. Miller's with the U.S. form.
Okay, thank you.
Right,
Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Gilbert, are you ready with Mr. Colton?
I believe we are.
Okay. Oh. This is a, you doing okay with anything, Jennifer? You doing okay? You doing okay?
Yeah, we'll be, just go ahead. Let's finish it out.
All right, this People v. Colpeen, file 21-6087FH, and a probation violation arraignment. It's alleged, Mr. Colpeen, that your violation of your probation in a couple regards. One, by engaging in assaultive, abusive, or threatening or intimidating behavior by physically assaulting a sheriff's deputy on or about July 9th. Also, do not violate any law of a unit of government. Again, by the same type of conduct, and that you were being charged with resisting or obstructing a police officer habitual second. Those are, at least one of them is a non-technical violation, which means that the court could revoke your probation and sentence you on the underlying offense. You are on probation to me for criminal sexual conduct in the 4th degree, which is punishable by a maximum of 2 years in prison. You have the right to have a hearing on these probation allegations where they need to be proven by a preponderance of the evidence. You have the right to the assistance of a lawyer. Mr. Gilbert is here to help you with the arraignment. If you qualified for and asked for a court-appointed counsel, we refer it to the Office of Assigned Counsel for review and appointment. Do you understand the rights that you have and the penalties that you could face, Mr. Colton?
Yes, I do, sir.
Mr. Gilbert, do you know how he wishes to proceed?
Yes, Mr. Colton and I did have a conversation where we asked for a hearing and we also asked it to be referred to the Office of Assigned Counsel for a signing.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll refer it to the Office of Assigned Counsel. Do you want me to sign that checkbox thing?
Yeah.
Here's one.
You can fill out the.
And now, this was just a show cause. Why is he in custody? Is he in custody on? He isn't in custody. This wasn't a warrant, so he's not in custody on this violation right now. Is he in custody on a new charge or?
He does have a new charge he set for preliminary examination on September 2nd.
Okay, is there a bond been set in that manner and just not posted then?
I assume so.
That's correct, Your Honor. There has been a bond set. However, he was,
MacArthur is supposed to be taking that case.
Okay, it's in MacArthur.
yes.
Well, what I'm gonna do then is, I mean, I know he hasn't posted in that, but this, he's on probation for a felony and is alleged to have committed a new felony. So I'm gonna enter an order remanding him to the sheriff to be held without bond on this matter. And the standard is preponderance and hearsay is allowed, and it seems like it's straightforward whether it happened or not. So I think what I'm gonna do, since he's in custody now on my order, is set this for next Tuesday at 9:10 a.m. for probation violation. And then if Mr. MacArthur on review wants to stipulate to adjourn it, you know, certainly will sign that, but I also want to keep in mind the time deadline. Okay. All right, so Mr. Colpine, we're gonna send you back with some paperwork to fill out about your finances. Fill that out, and then we'll get that to the Office of Assigned Counsel so they can appoint Mr. MacArthur for you. And we'll see you for a hearing next Tuesday at 9:10 a.m. And I'll have my staff prepare an order remanding the custody pending that hearing. Okay, and Mr. Gilbert, you got Ms. McCumby yet?
I do.
I have one more I can do online if you want.
If I just, if I could just have you have the other one online, and then it could be a residential claim.
Okay.
Can't.
No, just have to call. Are you Mr. Grenke?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm waiting for your lawyer to connect here.
Hello.
Well, Mr. Shepherd, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We're on the record in the matter of State versus Grenke, file 07-3600FH. Counsel, you want to state your appearances, beginning with people?
Melissa Goodrich, Boyne County Prosecutor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Eric Shepard here on behalf of Eric Grenke. We're both appearing via Zoom on separate Zoom feeds.
Okay, and Mr. Grenke, let me know at any time if you need to have a breakout room to talk with your attorney, just let me know and I can facilitate that, okay?
All right.
All right, and this is your petition to set aside a conviction for breaking and entering from 2007. Mr. Shepherd, any opening statement you want to make about his statutory eligibility, or you want me to just place him under oath for you to ask him questions about his conduct and behavior?
Your Honor, I think the record speaks for itself as far as his legal eligibility, and I certainly can ask my client some questions about his circumstances and behavior of the applicant if the court wishes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Goodrich, do you have any opening remarks as to any statutory eligibility or no?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Grenke, would you please raise your right hand for me? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, put your hand down, Mr. Shepherd, go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Grenke, were you convicted of breaking and entering back on August 7th of 2007?
Yes.
Were you placed on probation for that charge?
Yes.
Did you successfully complete that probation?
Yes.
Since that time, have you been convicted of any crimes?
No.
Are you currently facing any criminal charges?
No.
What have you done since you were convicted and after you got off probation as far as your life and work and that kind of information?
Pretty much after that, I kind of stayed out of trouble. I actually moved out of Michigan and got a different job in Indiana as a compressor mechanic. Now I'm actually getting married next year. Other than that, I've just been kind of working, and that's pretty much about it. Stayed out of trouble.
Have you gotten in any criminal trouble in the state of Michigan since 2007?
No,
Have you been in any criminal trouble in the state of Indiana since 2007?
no,
You asking the court to set aside this conviction?
yes, please.
All right, I don't know if the court has any further questions.
Okay, thank you. I have none. Ms. Gooders, do you have any?
No questions.
Mr. Shepherd, any closing argument?
Your Honor, I think my client's a perfect example of someone who he was in the realm of criminal activity when he was a younger man. He's grown up and matured, and he's moved past that. I do think he's legally eligible, and that the setting aside the conviction would be consistent with the public good. So I ask the court to sign an order accordingly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Goodrich. People's position.
Your Honor, received a notice of eligibility from the Attorney General's office. We also try to reach out to the victim and discover the victim has passed away. We do support the motion.
All right, well, Mr. Granke, you are eligible under the statute for this, and I also find, based on your testimony here today, that your circumstances and behavior do warrant setting aside the conviction, and that setting it aside is consistent with public welfare. So I'm going to grant your petition, and Mr. Shepherd, if you want to submit an order, the court will sign it.
I will, Your Honor. I'll get that out soon.
Okay, thank you. All right, good day. Good luck to you. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
We'll recall People versus McCumbee, file 22-6312FH. And do you have an amended information?
I do not, since the offer is done off the cost, but it is a 2-year hyper misdemeanor and worth $25,000 fine.
Okay. All right, Ms. McCumbee, we don't need to put any pressure on you for time situations, but there was an amended offer and you've had a chance to review it with Mr. Gilbert. Do you think you've had enough time to review that with him to make a decision?
Yes, sir, and I accept it.
Okay, would you please raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. Now, let me know at any time if you have a question or you need to talk to Mr. Gilbert some more, because this is an important hearing with important rights at stake. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I want to advise you the maximum penalty you could face. Maintaining a drug house is a high court misdemeanor, punishable by up to 2 years and or a $25,000 fine. Do you understand the maximum that you could face?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole anymore?
No.
Were you on bond for any felony cases at the time of this incident?
No.
Do you understand if you plead guilty, you won't have a trial? You'll be giving up the rights you would have had at trial?
Yes.
I want to remind you of those rights. You have the right to be tried by a jury and at that trial to be presumed innocent until the prosecutor proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. To have the witnesses against you appear and to question them. To present witnesses in your own defense and have me order them to show up. Testify in your own defense, or to remain silent and not have your silence used against you. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you wish to give those rights up and plead guilty to it?
Yes.
If I accept your plea, you can't come back later and say it wasn't your own free choice because somebody threatened you or promised you things outside the plea agreement or any reason at all. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, when you plead guilty, you lose the right to appeal. If you want to appeal, you have to get permission by filing an application. And the types of issues you could raise are much more limited than if you were convicted after trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the plea agreement provides in exchange for your plea to that charge, the remaining charges and the drug double enhancement will be dismissed. Do you understand that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gilbert, is that a full, fair, and accurate statement of his terms?
It is, thank you.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
Ms. McCumbee, other than that plea agreement, has anybody promised you anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your own free choice to do so?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing all this, how do you wish to plead to the charge of maintaining a drug house?
Guilty.
Mr. Gilbert, would you assist?
I'd be happy to. Ma'am, could you state your name for the record?
Casey Joe McCumbee.
And ma'am, were you in Sheboygan County back in January of 2022? I mean, January 31st of 2022?
Yes, Your Honor. Or, yes, Gilbert.
Okay, either way works. And you were in Sheboygan County, correct?
Yes.
And whereabouts were you at in Sheboygan County?
Carver Hall.
Okay, and were you in possession of methamphetamine?
Yes.
And you didn't have a prescription of methamphetamine?
No.
And so And you knew that was an illegal drug that you had possession of? And it was a residue? Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
You satisfied the factual basis?
I am.
Ms. Goodrich, are you?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert, do you believe, are you aware of any other premises such inducement?
I'm not, thank you.
Ms. Goodrich?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Gilbert, do you believe I've complied with the court rule?
I believe you have.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
Ms. McCombie, I find that your plea is knowingly, understandingly, and voluntarily made, that there is a sufficient basis in fact and law to believe that you're guilty of a greater offense than that you're pleading to, so I'll accept the plea to the lesser charge. Any objection to putting it out to the October 24 date?
Sure.
Okay. So Ms. McCombie, we'll have you come back for sentencing October 24th at 2:40 in the afternoon. You'll have to stop down to probation and complete an interview with them so they can write a report for me about what happened with this case and what you've been up to since then, really, as well. And Ms. Goodrich, any objection to continuation of bond?
No objection.
Okay, and we'll continue bond until your sentencing.
Thank you very much.
Final matter on the docket was People versus Austin Noble. On a couple 2021 cases for collection. See, it's not in custody anymore, right? Updated phone and address. Um, I think we were. Noble agreed to a order of income withholding back in May. When we set this for show cause today. It looks like we might have an address problem. Mr. Richard, I imagine you're not aware of any.
I'm not.
That's probably a good sign if you don't know what
Right.
Mr. Noble's up to. The prosecutor knows where he is. That's not a good sign.
True.
All right.
Show like a Harbor Springs address, because that's what's in the computer, but.
No, I've got an Indian River one.
um,
All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over. We'll renotice it, and I'm going to review it with my staff and see if we want to affect personal service or dismiss it or whatever, or renotice it. But I'm not going to issue a bench warrant on it today. All right, that'll conclude our night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, how are you all doing? I'm back. That's so nice of you. All of you that came in to say hi. I'm very touched. I might just be cry. I just might cry a little bit. Let's see. Let's see what's going on today in the YouTubes. I don't want to take up the. Oh, we have a parole going on. Thurston County District Court's live. Let's go here.
You didn't pull phone records for Mr. Hansen?
No, I did not.
You didn't pull phone records for Miss Williams?
No, I did not.
Okay. You didn't pull phone records for.
Hey, Michelle. Hey, tis Sarah.
The phone number that that text message came from, did you?
Trying to find a way to get rid of this chat on the side here. Don't know how.
You don't know if Mr. Hansen had a phone at that time, do you?
At the time of the report,
On December 17th, 2018.
based on the information that was provided to me by Ms. Williams, I had no reason to doubt that that person had, or Mr. Hansen had a phone.
So the extent of your investigation was essentially, well, sorry, I'll rephrase the question. Everything you learned in this case, you either got from the report or from the restraining order or from Miss Williams.
That is correct. I had no reason to believe he had a computer.
This is interesting.
You don't know where Mr. Hansen was living at the time?
No, the information
Everyone is
provided
so
me by Ms.
welcoming.
Williams that he was.
Objection, Your Honor. That's hearsay.
The deputy's trying to answer the question that was asked.
No,
The question was, as I recall it, you don't know where he was living, and that's a yes or no question, so he can answer. I think that was your question, maybe paraphrased. He can answer that.
Can't see the judge in this room.
But not answer that in a way that was information that was told to him by someone else. So again, you can repeat your question if I messed it up. Sorry.
So you don't know where Mr. Hansen was living at the time?
No, I did not.
No further questions. Thank you.
And Mr. Bretler, any redirects?
Is it typical to pull?
Mr. King, may this witness be excused?
There we go.
The state has no more questions.
You can step down and then you're free to go. And Mr. Bretler?
State rests.
Members of the jury.
Oh, we're in a jury trial.
We're going to take a break. We have breaks periodically. We haven't had, well, we had one.
This is
long
interesting.
one, but we're going to break now for not too long, maybe 5, probably no more than 10
I have
minutes.
no idea
We'll
what
go
the
back
case
to
is
the
about.
jury room. We're going to do things, some things here in court, and then you'll be brought back in.
Thanks, Michelle. That's very nice. You know what? I've been around a long time. I just want to do this for fun. To me, I enjoy this. It's not supposed to be a career thing, but you know, sometimes I just get alone. I get lonely watching these by myself, and
They can go do that. Yep. You can
I work during the day and I have a few minutes, so I'll just throw it
So
on.
the state has rested.
Here at that,
Mr.
grab my
Kale
laptop.
is, I know earlier in your pleadings, you had indicated that Mr. Hansen was not going to testify. Of course, he's free to change his mind. What are your intentions in that regard? If he's not going to testify, we're just going to take a break and then I'll have you rest on the record and then we'll do instructions and argument. If he is, we'll just bring the jury back in and you can have the testimony and
If
we'll go
Biggin
from there.
shows up, I'm going to invite him.
Mr. Hansen is not going to testify, Your Honor.
Okay, and you do understand the right, Stan, Mr.
silent.
Hansen, you do have the right to testify on your own behalf if you wish to do so?
Yes, of course.
And it's your decision not to do so.
Yes.
It's now 1:20.
It seems like
yeah,
a
we'll-
DUI case, not sure.
We'll take a 10 and then we're going to distribute jury instructions. You can put jury instructions, each one of their seat. I have 3 copies, one for you, one for each one of you. And then we'll come back at 1:30. And then I'll have you rest on the record first, Mr. Kale. Then we'll do instructions and argument. We'll be back at 1:30.
My first channel is Schrodinger's cat, and that's one I really remember loving. And for those who don't know, Schrodinger's cat was the first guy on YouTube to cover the sovereign citizens, and he would, anytime someone got tased, it was Mr. Sparky, and he was pre-law talk with Mike and Natalie Lawyer Chick, and then when they got started, when he tutored them more or less, and then I became early mods in their early days. But I was late to Schrodinger's cat, and it was around that time the Jeremy DeWitt saga started, and that was a fun ride. Mega's 482. That's pretty good. I'll never get there, but that's okay. I always love Law and Crime's little skits. Let's see. Anything good? What should I watch? If you see something you want me to react to, or we can watch together, let me know. I don't like to do what normals people do. I like to have my own distinct. I have a unique taste. I'm quirky. I'm well aware of that. Oh, here's a good one. Lawyer realizes she's going to jail. Oh, Squirrel. I forgot Squirrel died. That was
Call the police.
On April 23rd, 2023,
Secret Squirrel. I knew him very
officers
well.
were dispatched in
He and I
reference to a
talked many
disturbance.
times together.
Where's she at? Where's she at? Your chick's pregnant? Yeah, she's trying to figure out. Ma'am, you mind stepping out for me? Ma'am, so called my police. Step out for me, please. Can I talk to you? Come over here for me. Ma'am, step over here for me so I can talk to you, please.
Oh, she's having a bad day. You know, since she's a lawyer, you gotta wonder if she's a public defender.
You're not listening. Either you step over here, or I'm gonna go over there. All right, turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around and put your hands behind your back now.
I had to wonder if that's legal. They just came onto her property? What the fudge? I mean, yeah, she's a little weird, but...
We're gonna get up now? Are you gonna calm down?
That was a little weird, I gotta be honest.
Okay, we're gonna get up and we're gonna do this again.
Okay,
Get up. Get up. Put your hands
What
behind
was
your back.
the probable cause or reasonable
All you
suspicion?
gotta do is just listen now. What 41's do you take?
trying so hard to smile.
Let's go.
You're right, I guess.
Go ahead. Go. Okay. Well,
I'm curious to see what goes on here. What's gonna happen? Like, I love cases where it's like,
Okay, this is the back of the house.
Yeah. I'm in here playing PS4, bro. My girlfriend told me, yo, this chick doesn't stop fucking coming into my house. I'm gonna call cops. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Come on, she's right here in my porch, bro. Come over here.
We're gonna figure out what's going on. But next time when I tell you to step out, you don't go against what I'm telling you, because I'm here to. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you.
No, the cop's not there to help you.
Well, I've never dealt with you before.
I know.
So
I know.
don't think that every cop is the same. I'm here to figure out what's going on so I can better fix so I can provide you with the solution to the problem. Okay?
Okay.
Let's go to my car. We'll get you an ambulance and then we'll go from there.
Ambulance. I'm good. I'm good. Let's just go right now.
Well,
I'm
let's
good,
go
I'm
talk
fine.
about what happened first. We're gonna go to my car. Okay? Come on.
Okay.
What's your name?
Am I supposed to give you my name?
Yes, ma'am.
Sheila.
Sheila what?
Am I supposed to give you my full name?
Yes. 01 Carlsbad Runner, Sheila.
Please don't let her last name be Doherty.
No? Alright.
She looks Irish. Why am I not surprised?
Why were we called here? You don't know why we were called here?
Do you have what's your name, man?
Fernando.
Sorry?
Fernando.
She was just, I just minding my own business. She was minding her own business at first, walking, whatever, and then she just came right here and she's like, "Oh, where's your car? Where you going?" All this, and I said, "I have to go get my son and stuff," and then she left and stuff, and then I went inside. I put my son's stuff in there because it looked like, I just felt in my gut like she was looking for something, or something's not wrong, or she's high or something.
Okay.
And so
You were in an altercation, a verbal altercation with this other female that we just walked by? Do you recall any of that? Yeah. You do? Okay, do you want to tell me a little bit about that? You don't? Okay.
It came to a point where she's like, "Look, she's like, oh, I'm gonna have to take this car," and I'm like, "No, you ain't."
She was saying that?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
she even tried to, she's like this, bro. She's like this, she's like.
she even tried to open it too.
Oh, okay. I unlocked it right now, but I had it locked, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's locked.
Okay.
And then she comes over here, bro.
Tried to get inside my
She
house.
tried going inside the house, bro. I don't know why the fuck I get to get the keys. I would say it wrong, but let's go.
Do you live here at these apartments? Do you live at these apartments, Sheila?
I'm pregnant and
Yeah.
she got me.
Okay.
I had to like.
Did she like raise her hand like she was gonna hit you at all or anything, or?
No, but I kept telling her, please just go. I either go over there or take off somewhere, please.
Oh, look at those Christmas lights.
Rushed at him more than me.
So this is why I love the way I work. I'm literally working right now, handling a crisis.
Do you not want to talk?
I can't pay attention. I'm doing this chat, the stream, and
You're trying to listen? Well, let me help you. You need to try your best to answer my questions so I can figure out what's going on.
I love it. This is like, to me, this is like the
with you in the
dream job. I get to handle IT
you were at?
infrastructure. I get to learn about other stuff. I get to talk with some awesome
What were you
people,
doing? You were just
both at work and on the internet. I get to do all at once. I get to cuddle with some great cats.
And she came right here and was like, okay.
And
She needed a car for her baby.
this is what life is about. This is like a great life. I wish people who are being arrested in these videos get to have a little bit of this kind of life. That's my hope for them. That they can get treatment, get a good cat, and are able to work from home from time to time.
We're currently working a case on her.
On this ticket?
Yeah, on Sheila.
For what?
I don't know the underlying charges or possible charges, but
Damn, you guys showed up at the
possible
same time.
abuse, child abuse.
Does she have kids?
Yeah.
So I got to speak to them, but I got here and then they're telling me like, hey, this chick was trying to get into our apartment. We don't know what her deal is. All we know is that she lives here, and so this dude showed me where she lived over here on the corner. So I go, and she's like peeking through the fence.
I seen her a couple days back that she had a baby.
Does she live in that apartment that I found her at, or no?
47.
Well, I suppose I think so, cause like last time I went to go watch, she was talking to me. She tried talking to me, but she was gone, bro. She couldn't talk to me right, and she had a newborn baby there, bro. That's what tripped me out. She had a newborn baby. And then
She had a newborn baby there?
and I told her, what, I saw you last time with a newborn baby. She was doing all this shit, right? And I was like, where's your baby? What the is this for? Where's your baby? She's like, alright, that's where I need a car. I need to go get my baby.
We've yet to clear this. I don't even know if this is her apartment. This is just where I found her.
Okay.
But if this is 47, then I guess Rocha said he's had prior encounters with her here. She have kids? They said she had a newborn. Rocha said detectives have a case on her for child abuse.
She was cleaning it out. That lady came around the corner. I was just looking at her and looking at the car, and the girl asked, "Can I help you?" And she was like, "Yeah, where are you going in that car?" And then she's like, "Don't worry about it." She's like, "Well, I need that car." And the 41 was like, "No." And then so she goes inside, gets her boyfriend. Oh, she tells the girl, "I'm gonna call the cops." She goes inside, gets her boyfriend. Boyfriend comes out, and then that's whenever the other 41 that you 15 tries to start opening the car door, and the male individual was like, "What are you doing?"
The officers were concerned about the safety of her children, so they decided to search her apartment.
Police department.
Zero 01 Carlsbad. We're gonna make entry into apartment 47.
See you, Sarah.
Carlsbad police!
It's clear down here.
Go ahead, bro. What do you got?
It's just a staircase. I can't see. It looks like it breaks off to the left. That's all I can see though. But I'll start making my way up.
Yeah, go up and then turn the. Alright.
Carlsbad police! Got a bedroom coming up. Alright, so I got a bedroom right here, open door. Restroom right here, open door. Got a closed door right here, closed door right here. So, I'm gonna push to the restroom real quick.
Right.
And then somebody just wants to hold the bedroom. Close that, please. Clear.
Yeah, this is a long one.
There's got one more door right here. Okay. Yep. Close that, please.
I mean, she has kids, so let's just make sure they're not like hurting here or something.
All right, I got to take a call for work.
Yeah, she has pictures of kids right here on her fridge.
Yeah, I don't see like a crib or like anything that would suggest she's newborn.
This place is a mess, dude. I think she's an attorney. Yeah. Criminal Justice, Sheila Mahan, Sheila Jones. Juris Doctor, the attorney's oath is over there.
I'm not gonna just trust everybody because that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and I'll get killed.
Get Elizabeth Clerk of the United States Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit, do hereby certify that Sheila of Carlsbad, New Mexico, being duly qualified, was admitted as an attorney and counselor of the United States Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit.
Baby, fuck, why do I have to do this to somebody? Fucking baby, I just want my baby!
Well, at first, she rushed into the house. She ran into the house, like, trying to get into the house.
Did she make it inside, or?
She made it to the door, bro, but I wanted to see how far she was going to take me, you know, because, like, I was going to see what was up. So she did get to the door. She touched the doorknob, fool, and then I started pushing her away from the door. I pushed her over here. I told her, move, go over there, and then she tried coming into the car again, and then she was saying, I need a car.
I know I will be. That's how it's always been. So I can't just do what everyone tells me to do, because then it won't work out. I'll be always like,
So you felt like she was gonna hit you, like.
Yeah, she said it. She's like, I'm gonna have to. Oh, she said it. She said it. She's like, I'm gonna have to fight against you. I'm gonna have to fight against both of you. And I was just like, damn, this really like, this bitch. Throughout, wasn't she saying that she was gonna like take on both of us? Yeah. And shit like that. And then she left. She like, she said, I need a weapon or something. I need something.
Did we run this 28 already?
Why would I listen to people when that's look at the quality and caliber of people around me?
When she gets released, she's not going to be able to come anywhere near you guys because you guys are victims of the crimes that she's committed, okay? So it's called the conditions of release. The judge is going to tell her she can't have any contact with you guys. If you guys still feel like you're in fear for your safety, like you feel like she's going to come back, retaliate, she's going to cause more issues for you, especially with you being pregnant, I highly recommend going and getting a restraining order. You alright?
Not really. If
No?
I would like to be out of these cuffs, can you please uncuff me?
No, ma'am. So at this point on, like I said, you're under arrest for resisting, okay?
What in the I need to talk to... Okay.
Well,
I need help speaking with the people that are protecting me. Can you help me talk to the people that are protecting me?
We can talk about that, yes, ma'am.
Okay. No,
But first, let me finish. Let me finish what I'm doing, okay? Because I tried to talk to you a minute ago, and you didn't say anything, which is fine. But now I need to ask you some questions pertaining to this incident, all right? But before I do that, I'm going to read you your rights. All right? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand the rights that I've read you? Your Miranda rights?
You guys want me to answer you, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Do you understand the rights all of the rights that I've read you? With these rights in mind, do you wish to answer my questions, or do you want to use your rights and remain silent?
With the people, I would like help talking to the people that are protecting me, so I can see if they would like me to answer questions. I don't think they want me to answer questions.
No. Well, at the end of the day, it's your decision, because you're the one that you're the defendant in this incident here. You're the one that's being placed under arrest for these alleged crimes, so you don't want to answer questions. Okay, that's fine. So at this point, like I said, you are under arrest. We're going to take you down to the Carlsbad Medical Center so we can get you medically cleared, because we did have a little use of force with you, because you were refusing to cooperate. So we'll check you out, make sure you're not hurt, and then we'll take you down to the Eddie County Detention Center, okay? And then if you want to talk a little more about who's protecting you, I can talk to you about that. Let me ask you one question, if you don't mind. Do you have children? Any juvenile children that are in your care?
Do I have any juvenile children in my care?
In your care, yes, ma'am. Anybody that you care for at this time?
That's like physically in my custody and care?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Do you have like a newborn baby or any children that you're caring for recently?
How many kids do you have? We just need to make sure they're safe and they're okay.
We just need to make sure they're okay. Because we're being told that you've been seen with children. We just want to make sure that they're in good hands.
You know how many kids you have? Or who's watching them? You can just give me a name. Is it a family member? Is it CYFD? Ultimately, if you refuse to answer these questions and something happens, it's going to be on you, not on us. Because you're refusing to answer our questions. We just need to make sure that they're being taken care of at this point.
Alright, we're going to get out of here, okay? Watch your feet. Told you she didn't want to talk.
Hey Sheila, where's Mitya right now? We gotta know. That we can take care of her. Is Mitya with Mikey? You don't know where she's at? I still got Mikey's number. I can call him and ask him, but I would like to hear from you where she's at.
Okay, Sheila, we're at the hospital now. We're gonna go inside. They're gonna check you out, make sure you're not hurt, and then we'll go from there. Okay? And we'll try to get you some slippers or something so you're not. If you want to, I don't want you stepping on a sticker or something. We're gonna go through here. Have you ever been here before? She didn't want to answer any of my questions either, so.
Do you know anything about her?
I don't, to be honest with you. Do you need something? You can't, hold on, you can't go anywhere. Sit down. You want a water or something?
The female was charged with resisting arrest, battery upon a peace officer, and assault. YouTube thinks you'll love the video on screen. Click to watch now.
All right, I'm back. I missed the good one. Let's go back to the jury trial.
A competency evaluation.
Your Honor, the state would request that it be done in custody just for community safety concerns.
Yeah, I'm concerned about them too. Still has more hair than me.
And there's a warrant out of Pierce County. I will, and this will occur, I'm going to set a court date, September 13th, directly the 1:30 calendar for competency review. And
He's an Italian. That's why he's so animated.
and hold Mr. Salinger without the opportunity to postpone so that we can get that done. His earlier statements on record about his belief about something about the TV or video being bad for my heart, and I've watched him, he was muted, but watched him be pretty aggressively trying to talk to the court. Haven't heard much, of course, because he was muted by someone else. So, but from what the parties have talked to the court about, we'll sign off on this order and again set September 13th. And if things are known earlier, of course, let us know and we'll get things on sooner. We may know first, but we'll get it set on as soon as possible, if not by the 13th.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I just, for the record, I don't think I asked previously, we're also requesting court-appointed counsel.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Are you sure you can't afford a big fancy lawyer?
Thurston County Public Defense is appointed to represent Mr. Salinger. So we're sending.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I think those charges are going to get
matter
dropped, Michelle.
Calendar.
Or there'll be some sort of really good deal, maybe disorderly conduct, or a community service, and then charges get dropped, or something like that. Maybe some mental health treatment.
Are you also managing the 2:30 calendar?
Yes.
Okay. And sir, your name?
William Simmons, 102387.
Mr. Simmons, okay. And it's William Joe McLeod Simmons?
Yes, good.
All right, and you said February 10th of 1970 is your date of birth?
October 23rd, 1987.
Okay, I didn't hear that right. October 23rd, 87. All right.
October.
So, Mr. Simmons, October. Yeah, October 10, October 23rd, 1987.
Yeah.
Okay, got that straight. All right, so we issued a warrant way back 3 years ago, well, a year ago, September of 22, 5,000 cash for bond when you didn't appear. It's a post-conviction assault in the 4th degree domestic violence. You were supposed to do certain things. You were at Northwest Resources for a while and then left there apparently. And then I see also there's a new law violation pending, a felony drug charge from August 5th of 2022. Maybe that's post-conviction. We'll have to look at that. But Mr. Bobbins, on behalf of the state in this warrant return, what are you asking of the court?
Your Honor, the state does note that Mr. Simmons has a pretty long warrant history and is also concerned that he had failed to appear at a PFTC hearing for his treatment review, and the state is requesting that he post $1,000 bond.
Mr. Stillwell?
Thank you, Your Honor. Defense is requesting that Mr. Simmons be released on his personal recognizance. I'd note that he was recently in DOC. I believe he just finished a term at a DOC facility in Shelton and then was transferred here yesterday for a probation violation there, similarly related to treatment. I believe he also either still has or had earlier today a Superior Court hearing on the case Your Honor referenced. The pretrial services recommendation there is that he be released on personal recognizance subject to pretrial services supervision, which the pretrial services report notes he had been compliant with previously. He had been checking in with them. Our Rule 9 intern did speak with them earlier today and did note that it sounds like he completed an inpatient treatment program that at
Good for
Serendipity
him.
Lane that he was under the impression district court probation had proof of. I don't believe that's reflected in Laserfish, but it sounds like there might be proof out there that we would need to coordinate.
Wait, is the system called Laserfish?
But, Your Honor, given
Is that like fish
he
with
has
lasers?
just completed some time in custody.
Do they fight the
it sounds
sharks
like
with
Superior Court's
lasers?
recommendation is release subject to pretrial supervision, which he's been compliant with in the past, according to their report. We're asking for his release.
And Mr. Simmons, when you're out of custody, we have an address on 1514 Foxfire, Southeastern Olympia. Is that still good for mailing?
Yes, good.
Okay. And we had a text message reminder at one point. Let's review that if you can get to the phone number. Do you have a way to send you a text message reminder?
Yeah, 360-819-5799.
360, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to allow your release into, you're going to be on pretrial services supervision. You're also going to be on district court probation supervision. I need you to check in with them within, today is Tuesday, no later than Thursday, within 48 hours. And the judgment and sentence I'll be handing you has their phone number on it. You need to get involved with probation, and you need to stay clean and sober and law abiding. So no alcohol, no marijuana, no non-prescribed drugs, no bars or taverns. Don't possess a firearm, don't violate the law, and you got to get yourself back into order with probation and substance use treatment. If you've done some treatment, we now need to get proof of that. So I'm appointing Thurston County Public Defense. They'll assist you, but the documents that you have from completing inpatient treatment would be important to get to probation so that we can evaluate all that. And we'll have a probation violation hearing. I'll set that court date today, and you'll be back with your attorney. And we'll send you a text message reminder that court
Emails.
date.
Gotta love writing emails.
When can we set this on a Thursday?
Oh, heck, Michelle. I would love that.
September.
I can't wait for Biggin to start. It's the highlight of my day. 5:05 p.m.
You're just looking at it.
Central Standard Time.
4 weeks would be fine.
I might just troll around, find something else to watch.
You're not looking at the weight of the calendar. You're just looking at the calendar.
Oh, Manning's on. Is it Manning? No. She was 18. He was 14. Oh, we have a woman cockroach. That's a little creepy, I gotta say, girl. Banging a freshman when you're a senior, that's just weird. Incoming call from 392.
Relax. Relax. Aldo, relax. Relax. Hey.
On October 23, 2022, officers were dispatched in reference to an unwanted subject.
Hello.
Hi, boss. How you say?
Good. How are you?
Ah, man, I'm bad, man. I lost my phone. And don't give me too bad. No way, nothing.
Are you Aldo?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Aldo. I'm Officer Dottie. Do you have your driver's license on you?
Yes, sir.
What happened in here?
Nothing, senor. Just I'm looking for my phone.
You were looking for your phone?
Don't give me to that.
That's not your license. That's your like a business card. What's this? Oh, you dropped a piece of paper. What is this piece of paper? This is a receipt.
Yes, for the driving license like before. They never give it to me, you know.
Yeah, you should still have something though, right?
Yes, I'm trying to keep it.
Yeah. Do you have a license?
No, I'm waiting for that one.
You're waiting for this one?
That never been to me, my home.
In March 2021?
Yes, I do.
What's
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any medical issues?
No.
No. Are you okay to walk? You walked. You were in here,
No,
right?
I'm not walking. I'm walking like.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
like,
Are
I
you?
got my phone that come back.
How did you get here? Were you on
my
golf?
car, by my car.
Were you on golf a minute ago?
Yes, senor.
Okay. Were you drinking in here?
No.
No?
I had 2 beers, but
You had 2 beers in here?
The problem is like I don't find my phone, you know. I need it, you know, like that.
Aldo, thank you, Aldo. Do you have your car keys on you or your insurance card?
No, nothing.
Do you have your insurance?
Yes.
Where are your keys to your car?
I put it right here. Put it in my pocket.
They're in your pocket?
Yeah, because I know the question. I know you like.
Yeah, I was just in here before.
No, you know what the point? The point is like.
I'm just gonna put it right here, so make sure you're okay.
Yeah. I'm working my profile.
I know. Where did you go? Like you were in here like 10 minutes ago, and then you left.
I'm right here. I go back, but I come back.
Where did you go? Home or?
No, work.
Where? Oh, in Mount Prospect?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's sit in the car. Sit down. Sit down.
No. Hasta la verga, güey. I'm not sit down.
You're not gonna sit down?
No. No, chinga tu madre, güey, no. Tu madre is giving me my
He's not
phone.
cooperating. Aldo, are you?
No,
Listen.
chinga tu madre, I got a problem with now, you police, you know.
What do you got a problem with the police for?
Tu madre, because of the last time they me, you know.
Well, I'm not here to mess with you. I got called here. I know.
Right.
I want to make sure you get home
Are
safe.
you ready for whatever? Yeah. I'm ready for whatever too.
Are you?
Are you ready to kill me? I'm ready to kill you. No play, no fuck, no problem.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Aldo.
No, man.
Aldo.
No, chinga tu madre, güey.
Aldo. I'm being respectful to you. I wish you'd be respectful to me.
I respect you. Pero the girl, you know, me, I come last day, I will come to kill her. You got a problem with the cartels? Don't you pinche, you owner, way, they know me. Hey, man, are you ready, güey? Matile kidnap. You're looking for, I hope 0843. I'm looking for my phone. That's what I want my phone.
Is it in there?
I don't give a f with my phone.
Well, I'll talk to him about that after I get my partner's right there. So.
Are you ready? You want to show me? You ready? I'm ready.
Miles
For
129.
kill you,
I'll
I'm
take a
ready
third
for
if
kill you.
we have anyone.
I'll give you my phone. Give me my stuff.
We'll figure that out, Aldo.
Wait. I'm looking for your family.
Hello, Oliver. How are you doing? I call you Oliver because you're definitely not Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell, the greatest British English leader of all time.
I'm not scared of nobody. Yeah. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you.
Of course he's not scared. He's
A
Superman.
mí no me vengas a hablar con mamadas. Te voy a romper bien tu puta madre, ¿no? A mí háblame a tu pinche. You can call you pinche.
I want to try that restaurant. I bet you they do the flaming cheese.
I want to make sure you could
I
drive
love
to
that
leave
Greek
here. Can I
flaming
make sure you
cheese.
drive?
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, can I have you do a couple of steps?
If you've never been to Blue Island in Chicago,
But you're okay to walk. You don't have
it was an institution for decades
Aldo, wait right
in the
here.
West Loop. It was so delicious.
He's starting to fight us, though.
A ella. You get, I need my phone. Don't worry, I need my phone. That's what I want, my phone. You know, Marilyn?
Okay, we'll figure that out. Can I make sure you're okay to drive first?
Why?
I wonder if he's Greek.
Because you're intoxicated. I want to make sure you can... Okay.
You want to play? Or you want to let me go? It's up to you.
Okay.
Well, okay, what? You want to arrest me?
Hey, why are you so upset? Are you so
Why?
He's upset because they ran out of this flaming cheese.
That's them. That's not
No,
We're going to figure it out for you.
I'm not married you. I'm not married you guys.
Yeah.
Not you guys. I'm married her. I take care of her.
He wants the flaming cheese.
I work, but I come in like buy some food, and my phone is anywhere.
Le fromage flammé.
I don't know.
Okay, do me a favor. Aldo, stand right here. Stand right here, okay? Wave at my partner. I'm just going to pull my car. Do you have any medical issues, Aldo?
No.
No?
No.
Are you,
That's gotta be Cook County. That looks like such a Cook County place.
golf to get here?
No, I gotta go to work.
Yeah, you work at Mount Prospect.
There we go, Mount Prospect. I knew it. You can just tell from the architecture.
Okay, can you be
That is so Cook County. Called it. I wasn't sure,
Yeah, just like that. Okay?
but I've been to that restaurant,
Here's what I
people.
want you to do. See my
I
finger
didn't
tip?
know. I didn't look at it, but I've been to that restaurant. It is good.
Yeah, I don't have to do it, but I follow you.
Okay, stare at the tip of the pen. Keep your head still.
Yeah.
Just follow.
Really good
the
Greek
pen
food
with your
there.
eyes. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
It's an institution in that area. I think this is Niles.
Keep your head still. You're moving your head. Just
You
move
go
your
there,
eyes.
you want to get a Euro
Close your eyes.
plate.
You understand?
That's the key.
You're moving your head still. Keep your head still.
Euro plate and a Diet Coke. That's where you can't go
Keep your head
wrong in
still. I know
Chicago.
it's hard because you're.
And you get a
swaying
good
little
Greek
bit.
place.
Okay. What I want you to do is take your left foot.
Maybe
keep
it's
it where it is.
Skokie, but it's somewhere in
Go back.
general
Go back
vicinity.
over here a little bit so we don't run out of room. Now put your right foot in front of your left foot like this. Yeah. Your left foot in front of
Grigsby
your
gets
right
super
foot in front of
happy
your
when
left
he
foot.
recognizes the places people are getting arrested
No.
in YouTube
Put your
videos.
right foot in front of your left foot.
There's a right, there's a left.
Okay, stay like that. Don't move until I tell you to. Okay, you're moving again. Okay. All right, stay there. Don't move. So when I say so, I want you
I
to
think
take
there's a
9 heel-to-toe
DMV
steps.
not too far away from there.
Heel to toe with your hands at your sides. Can you keep your hands at your sides right now?
Yes.
Okay, go.
1, 2, 3. That's it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
Niles. Look, see that car that says Niles. Called it.
You're gonna take one foot.
I
hold
know
it
my
6 inches
land.
off the ground, and you're gonna count out loud. 1001, 1002, 1003, until I tell you to stop. Do you understand? You could take your shoes off. You can keep them on.
No, my man.
These are my people.
Okay.
I'll follow you because
The corrupt cops, the drunken drivers, the Greek food.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
I love these people.
No mames. I do already.
You're done? I want to see what your level's at.
No.
Are you curious?
No, can I call my lawyer? Because you.
Okay.
Well, you may call. Oh, what do you want? You might call my lawyer or want to lose your job.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Do me a favor.
It's up to you.
Keep your hands behind your back.
No, it's up to you.
Okay. Aldo.
What do you want?
Aldo.
You want to call my lawyer or want to lose your job?
You can call your lawyer.
Or you want to you up? It's up to you. I don't care you police. I'm ready for whatever. You want to try me? No.
You're upset because
Yeah,
of the phone.
I respect you.
you know they're not going to take them to the nice jail. For the good people, the ones that are nice, they let them stay at the holding cells, the holding jails.
Because I'm asking you to.
For the jerks and the gangsters, they take them to California in 26 still. In the olden days, everyone got booked no matter what crime at California 26. Nowadays, that's supposed to be just the harsh
I'll
felonies.
take care of your car.
Now, it's supposed to be done by geographical region. And so, in theory, he would go to either the Skokie or the Des Plaines jailhouse. And now, there's a 50-50 shot that they'll take him to California 26, or they'll say, oh, we're overbooked, and they'll take him all the way downtown.
Aldo, I just had spit hit my arm.
I don't give a.
I want to get you home today.
What?
Okay?
I don't need you. I don't need you. I want to. No.
Come on.
Chinga tu madre.
Okay, Aldo.
Chinga tu madre, güey.
Stop, okay?
No.
Stop.
No. Stop. I want you to help me.
But Sarah, if we did a breath test,
No, nobody's hurting him.
it wouldn't be as funny.
Why are you kicking him? For what? Why are you kicking him? For what?
Well, why you bother me? Why?
He told you he arrested
Oh, fuck
you
you.
for DUI.
You. I'm not driving. You. Where I'm driving? Where I drive? I'm driving. Will you arrest me? Eh?
He wasn't driving, he was traveling, gosh darn it.
You.
Here, come in the car. We're going to sit down in the car. We're going to get your phone.
You.
Sit down.
I know you're afraid too.
Right here.
Chinga tu madre,
Sit down.
güey. Okay. What am I doing, my little? I go to the cameras.
Put your feet in.
Chinga tu madre, güey.
Put your feet in.
Chinga tu madre.
Feet in. Thank you.
Pinche white. Pinche white. Oh, little white.
I'm doing some Google translating into Spanish, people.
You, little.
Thank you.
El diccionario
Searching the suspect's car, cops
de
found a number of
ley negra.
intoxicants.
El diccionario de
Hey, I found his phone.
ley
In the
negra.
jail, the suspect kept threatening the officers.
I don't need your help. I want to see you with your family. Like you. I want to see your family with my boys.
Everything we're saying is being recorded,
Vale verga, me vale verga.
and you're going to be charged for
Vale
this.
verga, yo te voy a meter un balazo.
Él está una
You
puta.
understand? You understand? I want to kill you. You understand? I understand.
Aldo, is that your head?
I'm ready to kill your family. I don't know.
Oh, you don't mess with the cop's family. That's the worst thing you could say. It's worse to spit in their face in Chicago. Worst thing you could say.
Come on this way.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to make sure you're okay. I don't want you to fall.
For you.
Listen, anyone who knows me knows I'm not a fan of the police. But you never threaten their family.
Be careful.
You can threaten them, but not their family.
You boys, let me take it away. Stop it. You gonna be a gentleman or not?
He was kicking out there, too.
Oh, killed him. What? You wanna go too? Stop. You. Stop. Fuck you. Come on. Oh, you can hurt me. Come on, take it easy. I want to see your finger.
All these courthouses look alike.
Push me. More. I want to see your finger.
Except for Park Ridge, it actually looks nice if you see that.
Push me. You don't push me now. I want to see your finger. Relax. Push me.
Relax.
Oh, why you push me?
Relax.
You relax. Mira, you don't give me the truth, mother. I go watching your family, and I got your family. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? I wanna your daughter, or you wanna your family.
That's not nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
No, it's not nice.
No, Jay, you don't prove with me. What?
Oh, that guy is really gonna. You know, their body cams are gonna break soon.
You heard me?
To be fair, Niles is not a bad police station. It's actually a pretty okay town.
You want me to cry? I wanna make you cry, your family.
My
I
vehicle
wanna
code,
kill your daughter,
or you need protection. And if you are a first offender, you're driving history, you're suspended for a minimum of 6 months. Or if you're not a first offender, you're driving.
That guy needs some Defecate. He's a little bipolar.
Chinga tu madre. I want you one-on-one. You're one-on-one. You and me one-on-one.
That might be.
I don't care. I wanna kill your family. Believe me, way. Mother, way you
So it's
kill your
intense
family.
before the pandemic, so we
Your children, everything.
No.
Did you live on?
You, I live it whatever I like it.
Listen.
I don't want to listen to you. What I have to listen to? You don't listen to me.
I wanted to see where you live.
You don't care? You care?
On Center Street in Wheeling? Did you live in Wheeling?
Wheeling, I know that area. My dad used to work there.
Man, police, join me. The police.
Is that you?
I look like him, man. I look like him.
No, that's why we're asking.
Tu puta madre, why you asking me?
That's why we're asking.
You. I look like him.
No, that's why.
You. So that's what I called him, my lawyer. Because you arrested me for that. You lost your job.
Still got to identify yourself, bro.
You.
No, not yet.
You lost your job. Both the one. Both the one. You got a picture already, right? You lost your job. When you lost your job, I go to see your family. I know where to live. I say, I go and you up. I know where to say, wait. I go.
Kate Bliss had his
You
trial.
don't believe me? You don't believe me? Tell me. Play with me. Oh, left here. Son of a gun. Left here. Hey, you know what time you're chilling and going to the school? Show me. You wanna play with the mom?
Oh, that's pushing my limits, bro.
I'm not happy, bullshit. Q.
Okay.
Q. And you wanna lose your job. Believe me. You lost your job. You don't believe me?
No, I don't.
No? What about tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll lose my job.
You can do nothing to me today. What am I today? What? You lost your time? Look at this. Look at this, how you lost your time. You ain't shit, Papa. Yeah, you are.
Can I talk to you or no?
Yes, I'm a real good guy.
I was gonna say, let them, you're already upset, right? Let them do all the paperwork that they have to do?
Yeah, but I want you to bring me by my car. To the DUI because I got like no, just bring me my car and that's it. You don't want no problem? No problem. Or you want to call my lawyer? Let's start work. Because I'm ready to you up. No, everybody. You don't.
I'm losing any kind of empathy for him.
You are ready for my
I say losing. I kind of lost empathy like 5 minutes ago for this Joker.
I'm looking for your mama. I got you, hijo de tu puta madre. Every time I see you on the street, I wanna you up.
I really hope we can deport him.
On the street, I wanna you up, bro.
To the wrong country, by the way. Let's deport him to like Sierra Leone or something.
I send it up. You and me one-on-one? You and me one-on-one? You don't got no huevos?
Listen.
You don't got no balls?
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
You got
have
proof?
the right.
You got proof?
Everything's being recorded.
And who cares?
The judge.
You got a huevo.
Stop answering questions
or
making any statement.
Thank you. Yeah.
Or have a lawyer further questioning.
Yeah.
Would you like to make a statement?
Yeah. I wanna you up. Yes. I wanna him up. Yes.
So post Miranda.
Yes.
Okay.
I wanna you up. Wow. What a one-on-one? You got 4 guys in me. Oh, you mean one-on-one? Yeah, I know where you live, papi. I know you got pretty girls. You're on the matter, papi. You're on the matter. I know you got pretty girls. I know her.
Is that an insult saying someone has pretty clothes? Or is that an insinuation?
Papa, you want me to tell you something?
I think I have pretty clothes.
You want me to tell you where
That
I
words
live?
is very nice.
Show me. Ask me where I live, Aldo. Show me. Ask me where I live. Are you laughing, mother? When I you little girl, boy? I wanna laugh at you. Don't worry about it. You gotta kill babies, bro. It's a nice girl. Ooh, she loves me. Ooh.
All right, now is he making cockroach comments?
You have to sit on here?
He don't talk anymore. Show me! Show! I say, Tony, the committee. Aldo. Tony, mira, I see you tomorrow in your door. Joder, tu puta madre. Look at this hair, you call that? Got to want to see your daughter like this. Everything you do it to me, I do it to your family. What about? Huh? Something like that? You like it?
I'll tire out eventually.
I'm tired, you.
I'm kind of hoping for it.
I think I do the right thing of just adding charges and ignoring him.
I understand whatever you say. Pinches Americano
I
bullshit.
understand what you're saying.
You, no, you don't understand. Why? I told you it's not me.
Well, it's not.
It's not me. No, you see that?
That's you.
But that's me. But not the picture.
I know.
You.
Can I loosen?
Take it away.
No, we're not going to take
I
it
mean,
away.
they hurt me. Puta perra madre.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, you lost your job, wait. You want to talking for more?
All right, hey, listen, we're going to loosen these up.
Hey, wait.
I'm gonna put your. I gotta put your cash. I'm gonna put your cash right here.
I'm going to loosen this, okay?
No, show me
You
why.
gotta search me. It's our law. It's our policy.
Because you're going to go in the cell.
What?
You have to go in the cell
Why?
until you can calm down and get
Why? Why? Show me go to the cell. Why?
Because you're under arrest for DUI.
And why? You don't stop driving.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, you don't stop driving. Somebody called you?
You want me to tell you?
Yes.
Can you listen?
No.
I can't. I won't tell you that. Put in my report.
Can you listen? No.
You
Well,
were in your car.
he's honest.
You had your keys.
Yes.
You were in control of your
Yes.
car and you were drunk.
Yeah, no. I'll come back from my phone.
Here, I need this.
All right.
Does it come off? Is this tied?
No.
How does it come off?
No. You can touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Give me. I want to know. I want to call my lawyer now. I need a lawyer now. Now.
Cooperate now.
Now. Call my lawyer now.
Cooperate. You get a phone call.
No.
Okay, do you have his phone number?
No. I got your mama number. What do you think?
No, I mean your lawyer.
You. I got your mama number. What do you think?
It's 8675309.
Don't call. I got your mama number. That's good for you.
But she's not an
No,
attorney.
okay, but don't come to
She's not an attorney.
She's in my niece. Why? I don't
All right, I
time.
like that guy.
Wanna play? No, tell her. You wanna play? Show me. You wanna play? That's enough. Show me. You wanna play? So let me know. That's it. You wanna play?
Can I take it off? How do you take it off?
No, I don't know. I call the police.
Okay, we are the police. We're here to help you.
And I got any accident, I call my boss now.
Your boss?
Don't worry about it.
You don't want to call an attorney now?
No. I call the punchy cartel and go see your mama. And go see your mama too. I know where everybody lives. Don't worry about it. You can go home. Somebody waiting for you.
Technically, that's all public information. So it's not that hard to find out. But I doubt he pre-Googled and went to the county deed in downtown Chicago to figure out where they all lived before he got arrested by these guys.
What happened, right? So you said you want to get a lawyer, right? So he's going to do all the paperwork. You're going to have a court
Yeah,
date.
but what if I with me like that? What
No,
is
he's
trying
not. No. So you take all the paperwork with you. You're going to have a court date when you go to court.
Yeah,
then
but
you
I
tell
got to
your
go.
lawyer.
But what was they like complain me like blah 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 blah? You start following me. Then you got told by somebody else. You gotta somebody else. You see the pinche carteles, Mexican carteles, güey.
The other guy's totally different. So.
De su puta madre. Wherever you go, I promise. You lost your job. Believe me, you wanna lose your job. Tomorrow, away, I put it all my hours like, yo. Chinga tu madre. You, I know FBI. FBI to carry me with. Fuck you, chinga tu madre.
Hospital.
What's that?
Hospital?
Who? Him? No.
I'm ready for killing you. Policía de mierda. I'm already tío porque me están poniendo esto. Go ahead. Look at don't tell me my
Give me
Listen to me. I don't care. It's nothing changed. When I get off, I'm not wanna kill you. I wanna kill this guy.
You listen for
And
one
this guy, no. I wanna call my cartels and tell them this like,
Don't even bring that up.
I want my kiss card.
I'll drive you home, wherever you want to
No,
go.
I want my kiss card. Because you don't take me drive. You don't got no problems, give me my kiss card and that's it. I don't wanna pay no pinchy tolls, nothing. Just give me my card and that's it. Not forget about it. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Vote 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3 tomorrow. You got complaint about my lawyer. I'll figure out, hey, this you.
What do you mean same number?
Same number, I'm a twice. Ay, Dios mío. El FBI le dijo I'm a twice. FBI. Bueno, perfil. Qué pendejo. Tu nombre. No. I don't feel good.
Come on. Hey, we gotta have your belt.
Let me do it.
What kind of belt is that? I mean, blanket.
No, I don't know what the fuck for you.
Yeah, but that's not a normal blanket.
Right for you.
Man, you really did have to piss, huh?
Oh. Boy, man. You shut up, man.
Nothing. Hold on. We're gonna take the.
You wanna see my?
No, I just want you. Do you have underwear on?
No, wait, got my pants.
Of course.
My pants.
No underwear.
Here.
Check it away, man.
Ugh.
Oh, well, you get that one off. You gotta take the belt off.
Yeah, take the belt
No,
off.
yeah, well, you're bitching.
Ugh.
When I call the FBI,
The human body
take away your
is
piss
natural
everything.
and it's gross.
Man, when I've been inside, give me the clothes, give me 5 minutes.
Why is it that the cat's body
Drinks this
is
too.
perfectly cute
Don't
and
worry about it.
adorable,
A lot.
No shit.
but the human body is disgusting? Can someone explain that to
You
me?
ready? You piece of shit. You fat. Look at you fat, man. You fat. You fat, marrano.
I gotta stay away from the pizza.
You stay away from my dick, man. This was I don't need him.
Good soccer player.
You.
Come on, put your shoes on.
Chinga tu madre, güey.
Come on.
Oh,
Put your shoes on.
You want a cheeseburger, Aldo?
You want a something to eat?
Hamburguesa con queso.
I wanna kill you. That's what it was.
What's not on the menu?
You know what can I show you where I live? Yeah, you can do anyway. You can do with the lawyer wanna be.
See, these are Cook County cops. You treat them like dirt. They'll get you a burger.
Stand up. The lawyer watch me.
Check your back.
Sí. No tattoos. No. I want to call sheriff. Let me call 911. I don't like it.
911, you're gonna get
I
us.
don't give a
What's called that one at the police station?
Come on. Let's go. Let's try. It's up to you. Let me call sheriff.
You want a phone call?
I want to call phone call sheriff police. I want to call sheriff
We'll
police.
give you the
I
phone.
want to call sheriff police.
He wants to call the police.
We'll give you the phone.
Come on. Let me call sheriff
Let's go
police.
to the cell.
Oh, they feel so bad for him. He's so not smart.
You.
Come on.
Let me call sheriff police. You want to call
Let's go.
or something?
Come on.
Let's go.
Are you sure you want to have it?
We're going.
Just take him in the cell. Put him in there.
They're gonna let him go.
Come on.
Thank you.
Come on. Sit down.
Throw him in the cell.
Relax. Aldo, relax. Hey.
Stay here.
Aldo.
Sit down.
I'm too old at this for this shit, Shalom.
Aldo.
He wanted to get arrested for some reason.
Aldo.
Relax.
Maybe it's gang initiation? I don't know.
Let me call him.
They won't
Why you?
come here.
Why you?
If you call 911.
No. I called sheriff police. I know. No, I called the sheriff.
Okay, we're gonna shut the door. You gotta get in.
I go shut the door.
Aldo, get in the cell.
Shut the door.
Get in the
Aldo,
cell.
you're misbehaving.
No.
Let's just put him in there.
No.
Aldo, be a good boy.
Come on.
We're friends.
Get in.
Come on. I've been respectful.
Get in, Aldo.
You take no.
Aldo, come on. Aldo.
Shut the door.
Push the door.
Push him in there. Just push him in there.
Aldo, watch your hands. Aldo, come on, man. Come on. I'm gonna get you a burger. I'm gonna
I'm gonna get you a burger. It won't be McDonald's. It won't be Burger King. How can you open these burger, Aldo?
Aldo! The camera's watching me.
Get in the cell.
No. No.
You're gonna do this to me, man?
No.
Come on, what did I do to you?
Give me the call.
What did Aldo
I'll
do?
let you, but go inside the cell right now.
Give me call the police. I call
I
the
didn't
sheriff.
give you a hard time.
I call the sheriff. No, never heard time. Just let me call the sheriff.
Remember what time I told you I want to go home? I was supposed to go
No,
home.
it just take 1 hour, no?
1 hour.
Okay.
All right?
You lucky me, man.
Thank you.
Believe me, man.
Thank you.
Come on, 1 hour.
1 hour. Thank you.
Thank you.
I guarantee you, man.
Me?
Yeah, when you 1 hour, man. No, man.
No?
1 hour. So I give you a chance.
Okay.
The man was charged with battery to a peace officer, resisting arrest and criminal
Which
trespass to
time?
property. He was also issued citations for DUI, expired DL, operating uninsured vehicle and license not on person. YouTube thinks you'll love the video on screen.
Oh, I love it.
Click to watch now.
That earns a like and subscribe if it doesn't have it already, people.
Relax. Relax.
I'm already subscribed. Clicking on like. This channel, Police Insider, I'm loving it. All right? I'm watching this for the rest of the day until Biggin. So let's keep on going. Got crazy cats over here. We have a shoplifter, a Walmart. Well, that's our bread and butter on YouTube, people. Because Walmart shoplifters and subsets. You gotta love hot girls getting arrested. That's another good one. Airport Karens are always a good one. Ooh, boyfriend beaters. Those are fun. There's a part of me that wishes I had a girlfriend that would beat me up. I enjoy when my cats bite me, so you gotta love it when a girl beats you up. That's just fun. That's just logic, people. If you love when your cat bites you, you must love it when a girl punches you. I mean, that's just logic. Oh, cat fight with a cop. Here we go.
You want to get it? Brianna. Go ahead, bro.
Brianna.
Look, get it out of my pocket and see for your self, bro. Do not. I'm pregnant, bitch. She pressed me up against the car. I'm 15 weeks pregnant, bro.
Bruh.
Hello,
Bruh.
Mr. Cooper DeKalb PD. I stopped you because you blew the stop sign back there at Pleasant and North 11.
The brakes are kind of bad on this car.
Okay.
So,
You have your driver's license?
I got my ID.
Where is this?
You have insurance on the car?
This isn't my car. This
DeKalb 46, and you're on Brianna Bogacki. Okay. Does somebody in the car whose owner it is have it? It's yours?
She's a solid
You said it's your
7.5, 8.
Okay, I can't really hear you. No. Is it your? Does anybody have insurance or no? Okay, I don't need your license. All right. DeKalb, did you have her response?
Oh, hello. Okay, so go ahead and run that.
All right, Brianna. Here's this back.
Thanks.
Here's this too. Yeah. And I need you to step out of the car. Alrighty, turn around for me. Hands behind your back.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna put it on the roof of the car. Okay.
Well, she's not fighting yet. She's doing well so far.
So am I gonna get?
I have to search you.
Okay, that's cool. Is he like there yet? No, we not.
Yeah, you are.
No, we not. So.
What's that in your pocket?
Oh, get tissue. You want to get it?
Brianna.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, gosh, no.
Get it out of my
Anyone that says bro
Yourself, bro.
just loses
How
so
about that?
much credibility
How
in
about
my
you, bro?
mind.
Look, do not. I'm pregnant. Brianna, go ahead. Stop. Go ahead, bro. I'm going to. I'm gonna go ahead.
It's not bro, it's pronounced
Oh, you
bra.
want me to be quiet, right?
B-R-A-H.
Okay, can you put me in a car so we can go?
Yeah, when I'm done searching you.
Okay, so hurry the up.
Yeah.
Lighter, tissue.
She's the kind of woman that would make a shank out of a tampon in jail.
No, not without my phone.
I'm gonna put it
Grab
in my
my phone.
Brianna, knock
Grab
it
my
off.
phone, bro.
Brianna,
The wrong with you?
we were gonna grab. Come on.
I did not know if you're pregnant, you're allowed to punch a cop. That's a great little law.
Go the
DeKalb
Okay, so
police.
grab
Is this
it.
DeKalb, Illinois?
Listen, he got me. The is you grabbing me for?
You ain't listening.
Yeah? Don't touch me.
Well, hey there, Georgia.
Don't touch me. Don't.
Missed you. We're watching a good one. The previous one was a really good video. It took place in Illinois, not too far from where I live, in a little suburb called Niles, and at a restaurant I've been to. So, this case looks like it's also in Illinois.
Hey, how are you? Come on.
Oh, she knows this cop. They probably both drink together, and she's arrested, and he arrested her a few times. You just had that little. They had that little chemistry going on. Maybe they're high school prom dates or something. Well, I can't say prom dates because she probably never made it to 11th grade.
I didn't resist. I need to talk to a strike.
Sergeant?
Yep.
He's on a call right now. As soon as he
Okay,
comes back.
so can I please get some phone numbers out here, and I need to make a phone
after
call.
I search you again and I go through all your
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
I don't stop.
Oh, she has a problem with women and authority. That's the issue.
Come on, bro.
Hey, how's your mom doing? I haven't seen your mom in a hot minute.
Haven't seen your mom.
My mom's doing good.
That's good.
And this dumb right here wanted to press me up against the car. I'm 15 weeks pregnant, bro.
15 weeks pregnant?
So go ahead.
How do you know you're pregnant at 15 weeks? Did you get that from a Magic 8 Ball?
All I asked her to do was to grab my phone and my what's it called, and she got it.
I'm 15 days pregnant, bro.
What do you expect me to do? What do you expect me to do? I didn't do nothing.
At her age and her lifestyle, there's a greater than 1/3 chance of her having a miscarriage.
Okay.
Can you spread your feet for me?
Can I get a new person to touch me? I don't want this touch me.
She wants the hot guy cop to touch her. Though she does rock those jeans pretty well, gotta say, for a skinny girl.
Kick off your shoes.
Please, can you please?
Yeah, we got it.
No, okay,
Seeing her up close though, my assessment of a 7.5 to 8
Please.
goes down to about a 6.5 to 7. She just looks a little too methy. 15 weeks, nearly 4 months. There's plenty of time. Okay, so to be fair, I am a guy. I don't count in weeks. I count in years.
Since this dumb wants to charge me for some that I need to do. She pressed me up against the car. I'm 15 weeks pregnant.
And she does not look 15 weeks pregnant. Let's be fair. Does she look 15 weeks pregnant?
Since she's new,
4 months pregnant?
She's not educated. She's new.
No, she's not that.
Yes, the fuck she
You've been here
is.
for how many, Brianna?
No.
I've only met you how many times? I've been here for a long time. I've been here for about like 6 years. Before that,
And I met you so many fucking times.
I met you so many times. She knows the cops so well.
yeah, yeah.
I need to go and.
All right, Georgia. Maybe in what state is this in? Because
Right now.
this is Illinois.
Can I use my
It's
phone?
pronounced DeKalb.
Yeah, we'll let you get the phone
Well,
number.
duh. I need my Don't I?
I got caught on this one though. Okay.
Let me check the YouTube source and see if it tells us.
I don't need her
Because
saying
if this
shit out
is,
to me. Please.
I really hope this is
Okay,
the
stop
Illinois
talking
decal
to me.
close to NIU.
Fuck.
Just keep me the number all right down for you.
Okay, I'm gonna give you all of them.
Okay, hang on. How many are there?
Well, I don't know
Handful?
which one. I don't know which one he's gonna answer.
Okay, that's fine.
So.
I'm ready.
Brianna, can I take your handcuffs off of you? Brianna, can I take off the handcuffs, please? Thank you.
See, the previous video had it in Illinois, so that's why I think this guy does a lot in Illinois.
Voicemail or no?
Can you tell me how much my bond is though? Because I really do need it.
Is it $250? If you can't post it, then we'll do an I-bond. Okay? So if you don't have the money to post it, we can do an I-bond. That's just how much it is.
I-bond, that's an Illinois thing, Georgia.
Brianna, that's fine.
This is DeKalb, Illinois, College Place, Illinois,
I mean, I'm
close to Northern.
pregnant. I don't know what else to do. I got kicked out of Hope Haven because I wanted to be with my baby daddy, and I don't know.
I-bonds are reconnaissance bond.
Figure out some other type of housing for you.
I don't know what else to do anymore.
It went to voicemail.
It's okay.
What else we got,
Hang
bro?
up. I wasn't even trying to resist stress though. Like you.
I remember I got back in my
It
court days, I had a 50,000 I-bond.
Brianna, I would have
No,
got
Miss
your...
Cook, let me tell you something.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, in order for it to work, okay, you have to come with respect.
Charges were
okay?
dropped
And
on that.
When you put,
Yes.
and I went like this, I was compliant the whole time. I was. Okay.
He's probably a
and I-
college dropout.
and I
NIU has a
stopped, and I
huge
asked you to grab
dropout
my
rate.
feet.
My sister actually dropped out from that school,
I asked you
as
to
well as
grab
one of
my
her best
feet, not
friends.
when you put me in the car,
Huge
but when
party
you
school.
take me to the car.
It was like the place you would go from
I
other
wasn't trying
schools to get
resist
laid,
nothing.
drink, underage.
But when I tell you...
This is the middle of nowhere,
Okay, when
and
I
then you would go
asked
back to
you,
your actual
okay,
real school.
When I asked you,
And
okay, it's already. I'm
had
already.
huge drug issues back then, back in the early 2000s. Now, my God, I can't imagine what it's
But
like.
listen, no, you wasn't trying to get my.
And
No, you wasn't trying to
the
get
biggest
nothing. Guess what? I was
highlight of the year was the fall
What can I do?
corn
What
shucking.
can I do?
And it'll be like booze, bourbon, and corn.
trying to search you.
And you
Get on
would
gloves
do a
to search
corn
you.
boil,
To do that, you can't pull away. When I say I'll get your stuff,
dip it in
I'll
hot
get it, but we'll
oil,
put you in the car.
and
You
eat
can't
it that
pull
way.
back.
With,
Okay?
you know, whiskey shots, jello shots, beer.
But
And that's the highlight of the year. That's the, you know, orientation.
Anybody in this bitch will tell you. Okay.
Okay.
Can you try calling these numbers again? Yeah.
This is how Illinois works, though. They give you, like, they start you out with a little cash bond. If you can afford it, great. If you can't afford it, they don't want you sticking in jail. They'll just give you an I-bond.
County, it's been a year since I went to jail. The last time I went to jail was for this same thing. And they I-bonded me, and they let me out.
Yeah. But we gotta.
Okay, can you go through the top?
Yeah.
From top to bottom.
But be honest, Brianna, we have to go through. This is the process we have to go through.
I know, and I know it's not your fault. Like I said, I'm just really stressed. I haven't been able to sleep. I don't got nowhere to lay my head. I don't have anything.
Should I have compassion?
I can't even stay with my mom.
Georgia to Sarah, let me know. Should I have compassion? Shalom. Should I have compassion, people?
Yeah, they told me that they wouldn't take me and that I had to talk to Hope Haven.
Was it because they were full at the time?
I don't know.
What happened at Hope Haven when they kicked you out? What was they kicked you out for? I'm asking.
They kicked me out because
They kicked her
my
out
baby
of.
daddy, he's the drunk, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't feel safe with him being out there by himself. So I started my own place to stay because I was more worried about him. Please leave your message for.
Oh, she put the baby daddies. Put her baby daddy ahead of her and her unborn baby's safety. Nope, no pity.
Blanket, so you've got the strings on it. So either we can pull out the strings and I can leave you in the swetter, or I can give you a blanket for your tank top.
I would rather you not pull my strings out because
That's what I'm
this
saying.
is
I don't
where,
want to do that either.
But I'm not trying to be in no spaghetti strap either. So what's the difference between a spaghetti strap and?
We can't put you in a cell with strings on it.
Okay, check it out. What is you gonna do with these? It's the same fucking
It's just
thing.
I know, but it's the
I know.
rules.
So like.
You can't hang yourself with a tank top.
Alrighty, we'll try to get everything going quick, okay?
The female was charged with obstructing law enforcement and some traffic offenses. YouTube thinks you will love the video on screen. Click to watch now.
That was a good one. Yep, I did love it. The algorithm knows me. All right. Few more minutes till biggin. This channel has all the best ones, I gotta say. Police Insider. There's a few other ones from another channel I like, but I discovered recently where they do cop interrogations of corrupt cops. A little bit of a soft set conspiracy theorist tint, but it's actually some really good interviews. Here we go.
Junior, if I tell him you assaulted me, you go right to jail. He jumps out, lunges at me. He trying to fight, so I protect myself.
Trying to mentor him, but he think he knows the whole world.
I'm trying to mentor him. Will this be another Illinois case? Please tell me it's another Illinois case.
Disagreement in the truck is one of my employees. He feels entitled.
No,
you can stay right over there.
You need to stay over there.
Stay right there.
You need to stay over there. Don't. You don't want to really talk about it. You don't really. Okay.
All right, step over there. Okay. You got your ID on you by chance? It's in.
Junior.
All right, man.
Junior, if I tell him you assaulted me, you go right to jail. That's a fact. I didn't do nothing to you.
Don't talk to him. Talk to me.
Do you hear yourself?
Here you go. We're arguing we're talking about work in the truck. So I was bringing him back around. Had a disagreement in the truck. So he said something to the extent of calling me a bitch. So he said something about, he called me an emotional ass bitch or something like that.
Yeah.
So I parked the truck. When I threw the truck in park, I threw the truck in park, and I leaned over like, what did he call me? And I'm gonna just leave it alone from there. But no, Junior,
Who calls
y'all step out of him,
a 25-year-old junior?
You so sad. They got cameras. It's okay.
All right, man. So I'll tell you how it really started. I'll just show you how it started. Because I wasn't trying to fight him. He got emotional. He texted me this. He texted me this last night. So I didn't respond. I was like, okay, we gonna chop it up. We're gonna chop it up when we get to work.
Recording.
We're gonna chop it up when we get to work. So the conversation got heated. He be like, no, you acting like a you can't take criticism. And I was like, bro, just take me back to the car. He parks the car. He jumps out, lunges at me. He trying to fight, so I protect myself. I'm not bleeding. He's bleeding. I'm not bleeding. He jumped at me. I don't have a problem. Look at the messages. I don't got a problem with that man. He wants to fight. You can ask him. He been walking up. I've been trying to get in my car. My car's over there. He was like, you're not leaving till we fight. Bro, I don't want to fight.
So let's Google see if this out. Derek
I don't want to fight
and Randall arrest. See if I can Google and see what happened here.
You got your ID on you?
Yes, sir.
So what were y'all arguing about? Work. If you get Beth, I need you up here now, please. At the house, and I can't hear you. My phone, I don't know why.
You're talking to the police. Why are you talking on the phone?
I hurt myself. I got hurt myself. See, young dude I really care about, and I'm trying to mentor him, but he think he knows the whole world. Now, you want to have a real conversation? Because I don't.
It's a
They've all been out here.
8-year
No, but I know.
difference.
I'm not trying to keep it. I really am. This is my.
It's
First
not
off,
exactly
I've
a
been working in
mentoring type
subdivision for years.
relationship,
This is my
dude.
business. I help all these neighbors around here know me. I've been on our board. I've done a lot of different things here. He talks about me getting emotional. It was a
Oh,
disagreement.
you're Mr.
Emotional
Mature because you're
disagreement,
on
for
an
sure.
HOA.
100%. He starts name calling and said, he's younger than me. I get it. I understand. It happens. He doesn't like it. We start talking. I told him, I'll take you right over here and take you back to your truck. I was like, you go to your truck. That's it, because you're not going to work with me. You're not going to, he's just been goofing off of work. He got a ticket in my truck last week. He didn't pay the ticket. He keeps coming to my business that I'm helping him with to put money in his pocket, and he thinks that he can just disrespect anybody. But see, he's 23, he lives with his mom, and he doesn't show any respect. He has kids, they're not there.
All
I'm
right,
not
so
trying to
how's
pass
that
judgment, but I'm
relevant
trying to
to
help him
the
being a
actual
man.
instance?
I got a business, I got a wife, I got kids that I see every single day, but you can't talk to them.
What does that have to do with the instant?
You can have a conversation there to figure it out.
Yeah.
So,
It started over work.
oh yeah.
And I told him, like, take me back to the car, bro. I don't have to work for you.
Right.
It's all good. It's nothing personal.
Right.
He was like, no, you acting like a you can't take criticism. You acting like a bro, I'll stick you. He parked the car, lunged at me, got out. Anybody that has cameras right there can see. He jumped at me.
Okay.
I didn't start. I don't want to fight this man.
Okay.
It's nothing to fight. I was like,
So,
bro, take me to my car. I don't have to work for you.
Hold on. Listen, take it down a notch.
My bad.
I know your adrenaline's going and everything.
Yeah,
like
because I don't like confrontation.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but let's talk.
Yes, sir.
So he lunged at you. Then what? Did you sock him or what?
I had to. He was trying to. He was gonna hurt me.
Okay. Did you sock him in the face?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not bleeding. That's his blood.
Okay.
I did not. He was driving the car. He parked.
Sounds like the guy deserved a little sock in the face.
Oh man, let's go. I protected myself.
Right.
He's emotional, bro. Like I was just telling him, just take me home. We don't have to talk. We don't have to do nothing. Take me home. He wants to fight. He wants to argue, bro. Take me home. Fight with your wife. I don't care nothing about that, bro.
How do you get the injury to his face?
Huh?
How do you get the injury to his face?
He lunged at me. He parked. Also, I'll retell you the story. That text message I just showed him. He texted me last night and was like, "Hey, I got a problem with your work. That's why my knees are scratched up." He tried to tackle me.
10 minutes till begin.
Tell the truth, bro. Why you getting here now? You're not talking no more. So he texted me that. We parked over there actually before we started work. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna just talk it over with you." Conversation started to get heated. Like, I was like, "Bro, you're not gonna find a better worker than me. Stop. I don't like the
You'll
way
never
you
find a
do it.
better job than him?
You could take me
Yeah,
to
that's bullshit.
On the way, we wrapped around. On the way back, that's how he got here. He parked at that sewer. He was like,
In the face, bro. I mean,
I don't want him.
He has your blood on his hands, on his face. You bleeding from the face, dog. So the ultimate question is whether or not you want to press charges.
Yeah, and then they pull those cameras. See what happens.
I can't forgive I've been at his age, and I've been the hothead that know the whole world.
Right.
I don't want him to get in trouble for that.
Right.
I don't.
Okay.
I really, really don't. I don't want to get in trouble as well, but I'm very comfortable with him leaving and not coming back here, and I'm cool with that.
Okay.
It was a conversation, and I've been trying for 12 months to help this man grow into a man.
Right.
And this is
You don't get to run on another person's life, dude.
Listen, some people just can't be held until they want it. All right.
"The tackle me, my face scraped the ground." I don't know. It's probably his. We got close, like face to face. I was holding him. Like, you're not. He was on top of me, but I was holding his head down. Like, bro, you're not about to get on top of me and do that. No, I know what you're trying to do. Yeah. So I held him to me. Yeah, I got you. And I don't want to talk to him, but he owes me this money from yesterday that I never got.
Oh, bullshit.
Like, I want the payment. It was a big job. It was $300, so I would want that before we stop communicating. Because I know when I leave, he's just gonna block me. Right. I want my money. I worked yesterday all day.
in that sense. I don't. But I think you're.
The best thing is y'all need to part ways.
Oh, for sure, 100% after this.
And then after that, bygones are gonna be bygones.
Yeah, 1,000% after
All right.
this. 1,000%.
Well,
But yeah, you're free to go.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I'm gonna walk him to
Sorry,
his
bro.
car, so they don't try and hit him in the face again.
All right, same thing I explained to him, all right? You're both going to go your separate ways, or otherwise you're both going to jail, all right? Because from what I've seen, you both got conflicting stories. You saying he's the one that wouldn't let you leave, but I get here and you're the one chasing him up the street, okay?
What? No.
I don't know. They didn't see nothing. I've already spoke to them.
Oh, man,
but I get here and I see you coming up the road after him, okay?
I'm the one that called, sir.
I'm saying from what I saw and what I know my body cam saw, okay, was you continuing up the street after he walked away, okay? But both of y'all are going to get let go today. He's going to, the sergeant right here.
To let go the $300. Not worth your time in jail.
Can you tell him to pay me the money he owes me? Because I know that.
That's a civil issue. We're not getting involved in that, okay? Right now, we're keeping the peace, all right? Can you hand him back his ID, please?
Hey, can you sell me my money, bro?
Yo, listen, we ain't gonna talk. Let's keep it moving. All right. If you want your money, you got to take him to court.
Bro.
Listen,
Dude, $300. Not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Both parties were let go with a warning. YouTube thinks you will love the video on
Don't bite the
screen.
hand that
Click to
feeds
watch
you.
now.
That's another warning. Yes, the cats are hungry. It's almost their dinner time. But you know what also they're worried about? It's Biggin time. So I'm going to head over to Biggin. Come on, bunny, Bilby. Want to come up on my lap? All right, I'm going to stop sharing now.